Yeah, it's case number 361 on calendar in the matter of O'Miller versus Chavez Tapia. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Ms. O'Miller, it is your claim that the defendants are in possession of a ring that is yours.
That's right, Your Honor.
And it is a ring that left your possession at some point. You don't know how, you don't know when, but you saw Ms. Chavez wearing the ring in a store. She was employed in the store. You looked at the ring, and since you say it was a unique ring made for you, you were sure that it was yours. You told her it was yours. You went and got the police. They came back. She said her boyfriend or fiancé had given her the ring several years before. This is the fiancé, Mr. Tapia, who says that he purchased the ring, that he paid $1,000 for it, and you want your ring back or money.
I want the ring.
When did you have the ring made?
In 1991.
By whom?
By Creations in Gold up in Seattle, Washington, and this is the jeweler and her husband that made my ring.
Well, who made the ring? This lady or her husband?
Her husband, and he's since deceased.
All right. Did you work with him?
Yes, we had a store together.
Were you the designer or was he the designer?
I was the designer mostly. He did the fabrication.
Stand up. Did you personally do it or did your husband do it?
We both did.
And you remember this particular ring 15 years later?
Yes, I do.
Where did you get the model from for the ring?
It was our design. My husband made
Can I see the ring, please?
Ring for me first.
What do you mean he made it for you first?
A ring like it.
Just a second. He made a ring for you like this first?
Yes.
And then he made another one for Miss O'Miller?
Yes.
Was she a friend of yours?
We met in a restaurant and she approached me and said, "May I look at your ring?" And I said, "Yes." And then she asked, "Who made it?" And I said, "My husband, and I have the store." And then she came to the store.
Where's the one that your husband made for you?
Right here.
Let me see it.
Yes.
Do you want another one that he made? These were made together at the same time.
I just want to see the one that he made for her.
Okay.
Well, these are practically identical.
Yes.
Except the gold is different. Yours is heavier. One that she says is hers is lighter. Practically identical. And your husband, did he surprise you with this? Is my question. Did your husband surprise you with this ring?
Yes, he did.
So that you are not telling me the truth. What's your last name?
Grenzner.
You are not telling me the truth when you say that you designed it with him. Because these rings are practically identical. And if what you're telling me is that your husband surprised you...
Surprised me?
Listen to me. Surprised you with your ring, that means that you didn't design it. That means he designed it.
We designed it, but he surprised me, and I got the ring for Christmas. Yes, he surprised me with the ring, but not with the design. That is the truth.
Madam, that's a lot of double talk.
No.
If your husband surprised you with the ring, that means that he designed it and gave it to you as a surprise. A husband doesn't say, "I want to surprise you with a ring. Let's sit down and you design it, and then it's going to be a surprise." Husband says, "I'm going to surprise my wife for Christmas and give her a ring," which he designed. And then when she came in and wanted a ring similar to yours, two of you may have gotten together and say, "Well, we can make a ring very similar to mine." It's not exactly the same because this is more weight. This is less weight than yours. You understand that. But you did not design it. Sit down.
Can I show you one that he designed to go with that ring?
No, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Not necessary. There's nothing unique about this ring. You've been around jewelry as long as I've been around jewelry. This is, may not be exactly the same, but it's not unique. Now, when was the last time, Miss O'Miller, when was it that you actually saw your ring, that either is this ring or is similar to this ring?
Approximately about 3 years ago.
Where did you see it 3 years ago?
In my home.
When did you first miss your ring?
Probably about a week after I'd moved.
Which was when?
3 years ago.
Do you have a police report?
I never made a police report because I didn't know at the time it was lost or stolen. I just thought I'd misplaced it, so I didn't call.
Well, maybe you lost it. Is that possible?
Possible.
Did you have a moving company move you?
It was a small moving company that had moved.
So the answer is that you had a moving company move you.
Right.
So 3 years ago you did not make a report of any stolen property.
Correct.
So you did nothing.
Nope.
Now, where did you buy this ring, Mr. Tapia?
In Indio, California.
Where?
At a pawn shop.
Had you ever been to that pawn shop before?
No, it was my first time there.
Do you remember who you dealt with there?
No, I just remember taking my grandmother with me, and it was $1,000, so I asked her to loan me $500 of it.
You gave him $500?
Yes, I loaned him $500.
Did he ever pay you back?
Yes, he paid me $100 a month for 5 months.
Okay. So?
So I believe that's my ring. I could tell by the flat back. That was one of his trademarks. It's like the one I have now.
Miss O'Miller, this is a legal issue. If I believe Mr. Tapia that he purchased this ring at a store for $1,000, he becomes what we call in the law a purchaser in due course for value, which means this ring is probably worth no more than $1,000. It has very tiny stones. It doesn't have the weight of her ring. I don't know how much you paid for it.
$3,000.
Well, you overpaid. You can give this back to her. Let us say you lost the ring. Let us say somebody else found the ring and brought it to the pawn shop. In commerce, there's a rationale behind this rule. In commerce, unless you're dealing with a car or a boat or a house, which has to be in writing, if you purchase something and if you purchase it for value, you get the title to it. Now, if Mr. Tapia bought this ring on the street for $50, then he is not a purchaser in due course for value. Then he is on notice that this may be a stolen ring, because nobody sells a ring that's worth $1,000 for $50 unless it's stolen goods. But I believe him, and I believe his grandmother, that they paid $1,000 for this ring. That doesn't mean you get it back.
First of all, his name was not Topia when I was going through all this. His name was Estrada. Then I got a phone call from a man claiming to be a lawyer representing Mr. Estrada. The man that subpoenaed these people with their warrants talked to the lawyer that he's...
Just what kind of warrants? What are you talking about warrants?
Well, you know, when you go and form... How do I say it?
You went to her place of business where she works as a salesperson. You saw the ring. You said, let me see the ring. She showed you the ring. You said, where did you get it? She said, my boyfriend gave it to me. It's an engagement ring. You said, I have a ring like that. I think it's mine. She said, no, it's mine. You left. You went to the police. You brought the police back to her place of employment because that's her counterclaim, that you embarrassed her. Okay, so now we're at a point where you brought the police back to her place of employment and you said, that's my ring, and it must have been stolen. Is that what you said?
No.
What did you say?
I went home, called the police, and said I saw my ring on her finger at Mathis Brothers.
Okay.
The police lady said, he'll meet you in 15 minutes over at Mathis Brothers.
So then you went to Mathis Brothers, and she was there, and she said, it's my ring.
Can I say something? The officer did say it was stolen, that she said it was stolen. But in front of me, she said it was lost.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't know how she got my new address. I just moved into a new house. I feel like she's stalking me.
She's not stalking you anymore.
She has.
She's not stalking you
been in
anymore.
and out
She
of my
is entitled
work.
to sue you.
And later today,
She told me that I would be able to pay her back in a month because you would make so much money selling these products within the first month, as she did.
At the time you thought it was a good idea, and all of a sudden it didn't look so good after it was done.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maggie O'Miller claims Teresa Chaidez is in possession of a ring belonging to her. Teresa is countersuing, claiming Maggie embarrassed her at her place of business.
So far, I haven't heard any libel, slander, or defamation. She didn't accuse you of stealing it.
Well, when she brought the cops,
You were embarrassed.
I was embarrassed.
You were embarrassed, but that's unfortunate. But she's entitled to do that. She said, "It's my property. I want it back." Okay, so
then I talked to him, and he said, well, for $1,000. He said, it's probably a ring, and for $1,000 you could have it back. And I said, why should I buy something back that's mine, that I feel is mine?
Is that what you said to her?
No, I said that I bought the ring for $1,000, and if she wanted it, she'd have to pay me $1,000, which what I paid.
Is that what he said to you? Well, that's different from what you just told me, Miss O'Miller.
What did I just say that's so different?
You can have it back for $1,000. That's different from saying I paid $1,000 for it, and if you say it's yours, I'm willing to give it back to you, but you have to pay me what I paid for it. That's different. One has a positive connotation and one has a negative connotation. You don't see that?
I can see how you said it just then, yes, I can.
No, see how you said it.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'd like to know why all of a sudden his name became Mr. Topeka.
I don't know. I have a very long name myself. Judith, Blum, Levy, Scheindlin. My name is very, very long. That has nothing to do with the fact that you lost your ring 3 years ago. and you can't have it back. This may be your ring. It may not be your ring. Why in the world would I ascribe to these people any kind of criminal behavior 3 years away? Now, if you told me that he was one of the people who moved your property from one place to another, I would say, aha, a light would go off in my head. Did you work for the moving company that moved her?
Never have in my life.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Well, you can't go around, accusing people of having property, stolen property, and believing that it's stolen. Return this, please. Miss Chades?
Chades, yes.
Yes, it's yours. Miss O'Miller, sad that you lost your ring. I would have felt much better about it if you had reported it to the police stolen. You did nothing. And who knows what happened to it in 3 years? It may have fallen in a truck, and 2 months later, somebody found it in the truck and said, I don't even know where this came from. Said, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to sell it to a pawn shop and see what they give me for it. He sees it. He goes with his grandmother. He says, I only have $500. Can you lend me the other 500? I believe his grandmother when she said that he paid her back. You don't get your ring back, Miss O'Miller. She also doesn't have to pay you for embarrassing you in the store. She didn't accuse you of stealing it.
Well, when the officer came, he said that, it was stolen. And, I felt embarrassed when he comes into my job and,
You don't
she
get
made me lose time off of work. And she also had my address I don't know how she got my new address. I just moved into it, I feel like she's stalking me.
She's not stalking you anymore.
She has.
She's not stalking you
been in
anymore.
and out
She
of
is
my
entitled
work.
to sue you. Listen to me carefully. She's entitled to sue you. She had a good faith basis to believe that this was her property. And quite frankly, unless you could establish to my satisfaction, which you have, that you were a holder in due course for value, which means you paid value for this ring, I might have returned it to her if I believed it was hers to begin with. But I believe that you purchased it, and I believe you purchased it in good faith with your grandmother. I believe you paid value for it, and therefore the title is clear, is in your name. Do we all understand that? Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was embarrassing, She harassed me at work.
I guess report anything you think might be lost.
Oh, as long as I kept the ring, I'm fine with it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Blishak versus Rouse. Step forward.
Tanya Blishak is suing her former co-worker, Julianne Rouse, for startup money to sell Mary Kay Cosmetics.
Miss Blishak, according to what I've read in your complaint, you and the defendant worked together in a hair salon period of time, and in addition to your regular work, you were making some money on the side selling Mary Kay Cosmetics. Mm-hmm. You tried to get Miss Rouse to become a representative for Mary Kay and claimed that you sold her a quantity of product. You put it on your credit card because she asked you to, with the understanding that she would pay the credit card bill. She paid some, but not all, and you want the balance. Mm-hmm. Ms. Rouse says that you sort of pressured her into becoming a representative. She paid you back a total so far of $1,400 for the product that was purchased, according to her, without her consent. She stopped selling the product. She still has 6 boxes of it at home that you're welcome to have because she says she's paid enough.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I sold it for about a month.
That's a fib that you just told me, because you told me a moment ago that after a month you ordered more product, so that means that you were at least selling the product for 2 months.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tanya Blishak says former co-worker Julianne Rouse owes for a loan to buy Mary Kay Cosmetics. Julianne says the makeup was forced on her.
When did you start to sell Mary Kay Cosmetics?
September of 2001.
And what percentage do you get of what, for instance, Miss Rouse would purchase from Mary Kay?
At the time, I did get 13% on her order, but I would like to state...
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I just want to say that I explained to her completely and full detail that she does not have to order any inventory whatsoever. It is for her benefit to have inventory if she wants it, so that she can give it to her customers when they buy it from her. That's completely her option. She doesn't have to do it, and she chose to do one of the big ones.
When did she purchase this product?
In April of 2004.
And how much did she purchase?
She purchased a $2,400 order.
Now, tell me under what circumstances you financed her order of $2,400.
It was with my credit card.
Why?
She had been a customer as well before, and I had no problems with her financially. She paid her orders. There was no problems. and she wanted to get started with a business. She said she didn't have a credit card and you can't pay cash, and she wanted to do it, and I told her that I would help her out. She was going to pay me back the next month, and we were going to be done with this.
From where was she supposed to get $2,400?
I don't know.
Who do you live with?
My husband?
Have any children?
Yes.
How many?
1.
How old?
7 months.
And you were working full-time?
No, ma'am.
Part-time?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I wasn't working for a while. I was going to school, and then I went back to work part-time at the salon. And at that time, my fiance at the time were living with roommates. We didn't have our own place.
So when you purchased this stuff, Miss Rouse, it was your intention to make this a part-time job?
Well, I was working part-time at the salon, and then I left there right about the same time this all happened to work full-time at a travel agency.
So was it your intention to work part-time selling Mary Kay Cosmetics?
At that time, yes.
Who selected the product that was purchased?
Miss Blishek did.
Without your input?
I didn't input. She did it online, and she ordered the things that she thought I needed at the time. And then about 5 weeks later, I needed different products. So I had to place another order on my own to get the products that I needed for my clients.
So you were, in fact, working?
For a little bit, yes.
So why didn't you finish paying her for the product?
And in the beginning, I did not want to sell the Mary Kay. She kept asking me to join. I thought if I joined it, it would be over and done with after the $115. So then after this, I decided that I would try it out.
Well, that's what she's talking about.
And she told me when she did this that I would be able to pay her back in a month because you would make so much money selling these products within the first month, as she did. At the time, I couldn't do that. I was working full-time.
Well, that happened later. Miss Rouse.
Within the same week,
Miss
it happened,
Rouse,
ma'am.
listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
There's something about buyer's remorse, which means that at the time you thought it was a good idea, and all of a sudden it didn't look so good after it was done, as opposed to someone who fraudulently sells you something. I'm not getting the sense that Miss Blishank sold you anything fraudulently, especially since you ordered more product a month later. And you paid her $1,400. She paid you $1,400? When did you stop paying her?
August was the last payment I gave her.
And you were paying her prior to that time because you were selling product?
I sold it for about a month.
Or more? Because that's a fib that you just told me, Miss Rouse. Because you told me a moment ago that after a month you ordered more product to sell to your customer. So that means that you were at least selling the product for 2 months.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sounds to me, Miss Rouse, as a case of buyer's remorse, which means you didn't plan on getting pregnant, you planned on working full-time, you planned on selling this part-time. It all didn't work out because you left a part-time job, went to a full-time job, then you got pregnant, then you stopped working. Are you working now?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. You better start selling some Mary Kay Cosmetics because you owe her some money. How much does she owe you with interest on your credit card?
$1848.02.
Can I see that, please? Why does she owe you $1848? What kind of interest they charge you on your credit card?
It was 12.9.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You have 6 boxes of product left?
Yes, ma'am. I have a list of everything I have.
Good. You better start selling it, Miss Rouse. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,848. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There was a lot of excuses from her, and I just couldn't get my money.
I like Tanya. She's a nice person, and it just turned out bad.
I'm very excited. I'm very happy to be over with this. It's done.
Now, this is case number 280 on the calendar in the matter of Schoonover versus Hicks Lillard. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Schoonover, according to your complaint, 3 dogs that were running loose followed you into your home, attacked you, attacked your home, then trashed your house, and injured your dog. Those dogs you claim belong to the defendants.
That's correct.
And you want them to compensate you for all the damage that was done to you, your medical bills, your house, and your veterinary bills. The defendants say they were on vacation. They don't know what happened. Right? You were on vacation?
Yes, ma'am. Well, my niece was attending a beauty pageant in Chicago.
I don't care what you were doing. You were gone.
We were gone.
And your dogs were home?
Yes, ma'am.
And got out?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened, Ms. Schoonover.
Well, there was a storm, and...
On what date?
I believe it was August the 3rd. August.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know where I was yesterday.
I'm sorry. It was August the 5th.
Go ahead.
Okay, there was a storm. I went outside. At the end of my driveway were electrical wires. So the officials had arrived, and they were telling me to stay away from the wires, stay away from the wires. All of a sudden, someone yells, "Smoke, fire, call the fire department." So all the people went running up, and our neighbor's house just not a tenth of a mile on the other side of the road, lightning had struck their attic. And everyone went, and I couldn't go. I couldn't go because there's the pasture fence and there's the electrical wires. So finally the smoke got so bad, I just had to go inside. I went inside, and when the smoke cleared, I came back out. Well, in order for me to see that house, I had to go all the way to the driveway, down to the end of the fence. And I'm standing by the fence, and I look at the wires, and I think, they told me to stay away. So I turned around, and when I turned around, there were 3 Rottweilers.
One on each. You have 3 Rottweilers?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
One on each side of me and one in front of me. The 2 on each side were females. The one in front of me, I didn't want to deal with him at all. I looked up this way, there was no one to yell for, and I would not scream that loud with those dogs that close. I thought about the wires, but I would have to turn to get through them, and I wouldn't turn my back on 3 large black dogs. No way. They were up to here. No. So I couldn't stand there pinned against the fence. So I started walking toward my home. I had about 100 yards to go. I just decided I've had enough of these dogs. I've had to drive through them all the way, all through the winter. They would be laying in the road.
These same 3 dogs?
These same 3 dogs with 2 little dogs would be laying in the road. I mean, many times I've had to stop. They wouldn't get out of the way.
So you'd seen these dogs before?
I had seen them before.
Do you know where they lived?
No, ma'am.
How far from your house had you seen them?
2/10 of a mile.
Do you know where the defendants live now?
Yes, I do.
How far from the defendant's home had you seen the dogs?
2/10 of a mile.
You live 2/10 of a mile from where they live?
Actually, I live 4/10 of a mile from where they live.
And you saw the dogs 2/10 of a mile from their house?
Yes, ma'am.
So sort of in the middle?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived in the neighborhood?
Lived in the neighborhood maybe 8 years.
How many other families in the neighborhood own 3 Rottweilers?
At least 2.
Name them.
I don't really know their names, but there's a Gaines family that's in the back of the subdivision across the street from us. And also up the street, there's a man that owns 2, not 3.
I asked you, how many people in the neighborhood own 3 Rottweilers?
Not any that I know of, ma'am.
Then that's the answer, sir. Don't tell me this one here, this one there. I said, how many own 3? Because your defense is, how do I know they were my dogs that caused all this damage? That's your defense, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's getting thin. Okay, you have set the stage. Now what I want you to do is tell me about the damage the dogs caused.
When I reached about 2 feet from my porch, and I looked up, I saw my little dog, and I was like, oh, no, my dog, oh dear. You know, I thought I could get through the door, but I forgot about the little dog would run out. And as I was thinking that, then all of a sudden this fear started to come over me, and I looked down, and they had surrounded me. I had them all 3 around me.
So what'd you do?
I prayed. That's what I've been taught to do also. I said scripture out loud.
Then what did you do?
Then when I finished the scripture, I emphatically did this, which they broke. And they ran up on the porch. And the porch is too small for me to get, couldn't get between those dogs and all that.
So what did you do?
So I ran down to the road. At that time, another policeman had pulled up. I summoned the policeman, he summoned another one, they summoned another one. It took 3 policemen with nightsticks, pepper spray, in the dark, trying to get those animals out of my house.
They got in your house?
They were, yes. They destroyed my bedroom. They used my couch for urinary purposes. It smells terrible.
What happened to your dog?
Oh, when we found him in the house and they finally got the dogs out, we found him in the bathroom, and he had like a tear right here. And he wasn't moving, he was panting very gently, and so I slipped him up on a pillow like that. So I sat outside. The pepper spray was so strong you couldn't stay in the house. So while I'm sitting on the porch waiting for them to decide how to take me to the vet, I look up, and down the driveway come the Rottweilers. Here they come back again. So I had to grab my little dog, run back in the house, call the sheriff, tell them where they were, do all that. So we got to the vet finally. The policeman took me to the vet.
Dog okay now?
Oh, remarkably.
Okay. I see items of clothing there.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, because of the wires and then the rest of the tree fell and all this, it was like 2 days before I could see my dog. They didn't really think he was going to live. So the first time I got to see him after the surgery, I had to sit on the floor.
Oh, I see. So that's blood stains from your dog?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know what that was. How much in damage was caused in your home by these dogs?
It was over $2,700.
Okay, can I see, please,
Yes, ma'am.
what photographs you have? Okay, who's going to speak?
I will.
Make it fast.
On the night of the fire that she was talking about, which was August 6th, I have pictures from where the storm had knocked the trees down and caused our gate to open. Our dogs were picked up by the animal control in our yard. The Miss Schoonover's statement had stated that she was outside letting her dog use the restroom, and the power line was blocking the trees or whatnot. But
Could I have your defense, please?
I don't understand how she could pick out our 3 Rottweilers as
I
being
just
the
asked,
dogs.
who is this man? Is he your...
I'm the owner of the dogs, Your Honor.
Listen, I just asked him a simple question. It's clear these dogs travel together. She's seen 3 Rottweilers out loose previously. So it's clear that these 3 dogs were together. You're the only people in the neighborhood that own 3 Rottweilers. Your dogs just happened to be out that evening. Okay, we have a whole lot of serendipity here. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This report indicates that your Rottweilers were found outside by animal control before. Yes or no?
And later today,
Listen out there in television land. If you go away for a weekend and you have teenagers, your house will never be safe. Right, Matthew?
Yes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Beverly Schoonover says neighbors Christy Hicks and Navery Lillard owe for vet bills and damages to her home. Beverly claims their 3 Rottweilers went on a rampage.
Keep going.
Can I show you the statement from the animal control?
Yes, of course.
I also have the animal control.
Only 2 of my dogs were out and at large. They were picked up in my yard by the animal control people.
Shh. Your dogs had gotten out before.
No, ma'am, that was one occasion when I was out in the yard with them. And
listen to me, I'm just reading this report that you gave me. They identified your dogs because they had to bring your dogs home before. Put your hand down. That's the report you just gave me.
The purpose of that report was to show you that there were 3 dogs loose in the yard that they bypassed in the street.
Listen to me very
that were German
carefully,
Shepherds.
sir. She was shown the German Shepherd. She said that they were not the dogs that attacked her dog.
Correct. But she also stated that the dogs...
She was shown 3 German Shepherds. If she was going to make a mistake, why wouldn't she make a mistake and say, these are the 3 dogs? There are 3 dogs. She knows a Rottweiler from a German Shepherd. They were with her for a long time. Listen to me carefully. You can't give me a report and say to me the report is only for one purpose, to show you that there were 3 German Shepherds out. They have brought back your dogs who were out unaccompanied before. That's outrageous. Not she. Your dogs.
No, Miss Beverly Schoonover had stated that it was so smoky outside from the fire. The house was right in front of her house that caught on fire. I have the paper, the Daily News Journal that
I want you to listen to my statement.
I'm listening, Your Honor.
Put on your listening ears. I said this report indicates that your Rottweilers were found outside by animal control before. Yes or no?
Not by animal control. They were
police officer. Strike animal control.
No,
there was never a police report even filed on this.
We tried to get a police
These
statement.
people,
There
listen
was
to me.
no
Listen
statement.
to me. The only thing that saddens me is one of these dogs was put down after this evening. Is that right?
Yes,
That's
ma'am. Because they didn't pick it up. They said they would be back for it.
It's unfortunate that they have dogs. It's unfortunate that we don't have to have people tested before they have animals. Animals are not supposed to be left outside when you're on vacation, when you're at a beauty pageant, when you're with your daughter, when you're upstairs, downstairs, anywhere else. When you're not home, you have to make adequate provisions for animals to be cared for, not leave them outside. Sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes there's a storm, sometimes there's a hurricane, sometimes there's a flood. And when 2 idiots can't take care of animals, they shouldn't have them. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,700. That's all.
Parties are excused and they step out.
There were also 3 other German Shepherds out running around at the same time.
My neighbor has 3 German Shepherds.
She couldn't even see past the smoke and the fire that was across the street to pick out our 3 Rottweilers.
I definitely know the difference because I've had problems with them too.
Maybe she can use her money to get some LASIK surgery so she can see a little better.
This is justice. This isn't extra. I don't need LASIK surgery.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnston versus Valentine. Step forward, please.
18-year-old Matthew Johnston is suing his ex-friend's father, Stan Valentine, for damage to his car. Matthew says Stan's son, 18-year-old Josh, dented the hood when he jumped on it.
It is your complaint that you were at a party where there was drinking going on, and at that party, this young man jumped on the hood of your car, caused about $750 worth of damage on the car, and you want him to pay for it.
That's correct.
Now, young Josh says that everybody was drunk. He's not exactly sure what happened, but his father has an interesting defense. So you're going to tell me when you were at this party.
It was on or about July 14th.
Was it July 14th?
I believe so, it was.
And at whose house was the party?
At this girl named Emma's. Her graduating class was the year before me, and I knew friends that knew her.
Emma has a last name?
I'm not sure what her last name is, ma'am.
How many people were at the party?
Maybe about 20, a little less.
Were you an invited guest?
I think it was kind of like just a get-together of the people who had known those people. So I went with friends. So no, I was not.
It was easier, right?
Yeah.
No, you weren't invited
No, I
guest?
wasn't invited.
What's the drinking age where you are?
21, ma'am.
How old is Emma?
19.
Were her parents home?
No, they were not.
They gone for the weekend?
Yes, I believe so, they were.
Listen out there in television land. Lock the doors. If you go away for a weekend and you have teenagers, your house will never be safe. It's true. Right, Matthew?
Yes.
Matthew Johnston says former friend Josh Valentine jumped on the hood of his car when he was drunk.
Okay. Now, tell me when it was that Josh jumped on the hood of your car.
It was about 11:30 that night. Christopher noticed that a friend of ours, David, he was already past curfew, and he was very intoxicated, and we needed to get him home. So Chris suggested we take him home. So about 15 minutes later, we're outside in the parking lot putting David in. We're all about ready to go.
Putting David in the car?
Yes, David in the car. And then Chris is in the front seat.
Who was driving?
I was driving.
Your car?
Yes. And so I get in the driver's seat. Everyone gets inside the car. And next thing I know, Josh comes out from the left side and jumps on my car. His knee hits the side of the fender on the left side of the car. At that point, I was just furious. I just turned on the car and just left. Went and took David home, went and brought Chris back, stayed at the party for maybe like another hour. Ended up that Andre needed a ride home. His car was parked at Josh's house. Josh as well needed a ride home. Josh was pretty drunk. I didn't really want to take Josh home because he just jumped on my car. Andre said we needed to take him home.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Step up. You're Andre?
Yes, ma'am.
You needed a ride home because you had been drinking?
Yes, ma'am.
And he had been drinking?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see him jump on the hood of his car?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
Josh actually comes on and puts his hands on the car. It doesn't, I mean, could have been forceful, but it wasn't enough to see that would knock a dent in the car. But yes, he did slam on the front of the car, told him to stop, and we didn't want him to take Dave home.
Well, you did a lot of double talking there at the very end, but what I gather that you said was, yes, you saw Josh, who had been drinking, put his hands in a forceful manner on Matthew's car.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Do you have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car do you have?
An 02 black Mustang.
Where did you leave the car?
At Joshua's house, ma'am.
Why?
Because I wasn't going to drive that night.
Because you were drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
Smart. So you're smart enough to know that you don't want to get into a car with somebody driving who has been drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you allowed Matthew to drive you home.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
One must assume from the fact that you allowed Matthew to drive you home that you felt as if Matthew was in good enough shape to drive you home.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Valentine, now I'll hear you, sir.
I feel that based on the circumstances, Matthew was in fact drinking quite heavily.
You don't know that. That's not according to your witness. Not according to your witness. Your witness just testified, sir, unequivocally, that he felt sufficiently comfortable with Matthew driving him home, and he would not have gotten into a car with somebody who had been intoxicated, so that he left his car home because he wasn't going to drink and drive, but he allowed Matthew to drive him home because Matthew was sober enough to drive home. So let's get over that. Okay, now you're going to tell me why he's not responsible.
Well, maybe he is to a certain extent. I would say that he has some partial responsibility, possibly, if anything. There are some inconsistencies in Matt's story. First of all, he didn't contact Josh the next day.
I didn't ask about contacting him the next day.
Well, I guess I feel that Matt has responsibility. I feel the people that put on the party had some responsibility.
Why does Matt have responsibility?
Because he was drinking.
What does that have to do with the dent on the car?
Well, I think if you're going to go out and go drinking and driving and partying and you're underage, you probably should not be surprised if there are going to be negative consequences. I think he should have some responsibility.
That's what we're talking about here, Mr. Valentine, responsibility.
Yes.
Where's yours?
We have maybe some partial responsibility.
Which part? Let me hear which part you think you have responsibility for.
Maybe a third of it. That was what I felt was fair and reasonable.
Well, there is a part of me, sir, that says that I think that you have the right, if you wish, to sue the people whose home this party was held at for inadequate supervision.
Okay.
If that's what you think you want to do. But you, caused damage to his car. Can I see an estimate for the car, please? $649.07 to pull out the dent. Is that right?
That is correct.
That's what you owe him.
That seems a bit steep.
You go to school?
I do not. I work.
Really? Terrific. What kind of job do you have?
I work at BAE Container Solutions making...
How old are you?
I'm 18 right now.
You work full-time?
No.
What do you do at the other part of the time?
Not work.
What do you do?
Stay at my house. I don't know.
Is that productive?
No, it's not. I can't have a full-time job yet.
How about going to school?
I choose not to.
Well, do you mow the lawn, clean the house, build a garage? What do you do?
I live in my own apartment with Andre and my other friend Justin.
Who pays the bills?
Me, Andre, and Justin.
With a part-time job?
Yeah, it's really cheap out there.
Great. Okay, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $649.07. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I'm just happy that it's finally all over and I can...
Now, this is case number 397 on the calendar in the matter of Levy versus Amrit. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Levy, you and the defendant were friendly, and there came a point when you and two of your 4 children moved in with Miss Amrit. According to you, there was a disagreement. You left.
Correct.
And took much of your property with you, but left some there, including, according to you, a valuable ring. You claim that Miss Amrit refused to return your property, and in addition, she slandered you to your father.
Correct.
Alleging that you were abusing drugs.
Correct.
You want to be compensated. Miss Amrit says she gave you ample opportunity to get your stuff. She finally disposed of your stuff, with the exception of the ring, which she says she returned to you in the mail, right?
It was actually through a friend, a co-worker where she worked, and I gave it to that person to deliver to her.
Okay. When did you move in with her?
I started staying at Joanna's house probably the 2nd week of July.
You have 4 children?
Correct.
How old are you?
21.
You have enough children.
Yeah.
Forever.
I know.
Where are your 4 children?
Right now?
Yes.
They're with my mother right now.
Where were they in July?
With me. I had 2 of them with me and 2 of them with my mother.
Why did you move in with your 2 children with Miss Amrit?
At first, I wasn't with my children. I was working with her, and I was having problems with my boyfriend, Henry, at the time, and she knew that.
Is Henry the father of any of these children?
Yes. And one day on the way to work, I got pulled over, and I got a ticket for driving on a suspended license.
It's a very, very long story, Miss Levy.
Right.
I asked you why you were staying with her.
Basically, my license was suspended, and she was driving back and forth to work with me every day.
She was driving you to work?
With my car.
Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Where were you working?
Travelers Express.
You too?
Yes.
Did your children ever join you in her house?
Yes, 2 of them.
When?
The 3rd week of July.
So practically as soon as you moved in. When did you move out?
The 29th of July.
So you stayed a very short time.
Correct.
And according to what I read, you had a falling out over child care and what you were doing. According to the defendant, you were having a little too good a party time. Now, you said that you left a valuable ring there when you left. Where did you leave the ring?
In the kitchen.
You leave it there by mistake?
Yes.
Who did you give it to at work?
A woman named Maxine.
You know that person?
Yes.
Did she give you the ring?
Yes.
So you have the ring?
The reason why I have the ring is because I called her. She didn't answer her phone, so I text messaged her.
I don't care. You have the ring? Maxine gave you the ring? Good. Then that's all I care about. What other property did you leave there?
An entertainment center, a dresser, a chest, a mirror.
Furniture?
Yes.
What'd you do with the furniture?
I threw most of it away.
Why?
Because she left it at my house, Your Honor, and she never answered the phone anytime I called her. She would text me back, never calling me back, saying that she would come the next week to pick up the furniture. She never did.
I have phone records that show that I've called her, and all these phone records show that she hasn't called me once, except for on the 29th of October when Henry had called her and told her we were coming to pick up my stuff, and she hung up the phone on him.
29th of October?
Yes, but I have phone records that show that I've called her on the 15th of August when she hung up on me.
8:15.
And 8:23 I called her 3 different times.
8:23. Did you speak to her on any of those occasions?
I left her a message. The reason why she...
Just a second. You didn't speak to... Were you all working at the same place?
Yes, but that Friday she had quit working there.
Well, then you weren't working at the same place on August 23rd.
No.
August 15th.
No.
Okay. So August, we go into September, we go into the entire month of October. Why didn't you sue her for the return of your property?
Because every time I tried to call her, it was a matter of when my brother could take me to get my stuff. And she told me the only way I could get my stuff back, she wanted me to pay her $150 for staying there, $40 for using her perfume, and was it $100 for something else?
So she told you that?
Yes, she text messaged me that.
Just a second. So she told you that as far as she was concerned, you owed her for rent.
Correct.
That's correct.
And I don't know about the perfume. I have no idea about the perfume. But you owed her for rent.
Correct.
And she was keeping your property.
Correct.
Until you paid her for rent.
Correct.
When was that text message?
That was on the 20th of August.
Well, then you knew on the 20th of August that you weren't going to get your furniture back until you paid rent.
Okay.
And you waited 2.5 months after that to sue her for your property.
Okay.
Well, that's unreasonable.
She was actually telling other people that she...
You can't tell me what she told other people.
Okay, well,
That's
she
hearsay.
has the dressers and stuff. She said she was going to keep that for her children.
That's hearsay.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask her where all the stuff is.
Okay.
And she's going to tell me. Is your father here?
Yes, he's right there.
Step up, please. Your last name is?
Levy, same.
Levy, the second part of your daughter's lawsuit is that when you called Miss Amrit about, I gather, this furniture,
Right.
she said something about your daughter. When did you call her?
It was in August. My son. Well,
That was in October. Called her.
is it that late?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I left a message on her answer machine because my wife was calling and calling, and I didn't want to get involved. And my wife was calling her and never getting an answer.
I'm talking about you, sir.
All right. What happened was she called me back after I left a message on her answer machine. Once she called me back, I said, "Where's the furniture?" She said, "I don't have it anymore. I gave it away."
Well, that's not true. Miss Amrit didn't do that. You didn't give away all the furniture. You didn't dispose of all... Miss Amrit, look at me. You didn't dispose of all the furniture. Some of the furniture you still have. Is this your child?
Yes.
You don't want to lie in front of your child, do you?
No.
You still have some of the furniture.
No, Your Honor.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And that's a very bad thing to fib in front of your daughter. I don't believe people just give away stuff. You may have sold it.
Oh, well, correct, Your Honor. Some
What?
of it, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, well, that's a different story than threw it away. Sold it is a different story. Who did you sell it to?
A gentleman that I know.
Whose name is?
His name is Lemuel.
Usually people have two names.
Is his last name.
And how much did you sell the furniture for?
$200, Your Honor.
Did he purchase all the furniture?
No, not all of it.
What did he purchase?
He purchased a black entertainment center.
What else?
That was it.
What about the two chests?
The two chests?
The two chests. So I asked the questions, you answer me, Miss Amrit. Where are the two chests?
They're no longer at my house, Your Honor.
Miss Amrit, don't play with me. Where are they?
I threw them away, Your Honor. I had a truck come and take them away.
I don't think I believe you. See, you lie once, you get caught in a fib once.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to do a hair follicle test?
That's fine.
Good. Now you can sit down. Talk to your daughter about birth control. That would be useful.
It's fixed.
And later today,
I got fed up with her trying to harass me every single day.
Grow up.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tatiana Levy says Her former roommate, Joanna Amrit, disposed of her furniture and slandered her to her father. Tatiana claims Joanna told her father she'd been using cocaine.
Okay, I'd like you to tell me what she said to you about your daughter's behavior.
Right.
Your daughter is also suing for slander.
What happened was, after she told me about the furniture, she said, I had to get your daughter out of the house because she was using cocaine in the house in front of my kids. And I know that doesn't happen because, you know, I'm back and forth with my daughter. I'm raising 2 of the kids. And during the summer, I had all 4 most of the time. And I see her all week.
You think she listens to you?
My daughter? No, I know that. She don't always listen.
I have a drug
but
test.
I could tell if she's high on drugs, especially cocaine or something. And she took a voluntary drug
Yeah,
test.
I took a voluntary drug test.
Did you take a hair follicle test?
No, this is just
Don't listen
an
to me.
observed.
Shh,
no.
listen to me.
Was
Did you
it?
take a hair follicle test? You took a urine test?
Correct.
Listen, Miss Levy, I've been in the business a long time. You want to do a hair follicle test?
That's fine.
Fine. Do a hair follicle test. That part of your lawsuit that has to do with slander and drugs, I'll hold in abeyance.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay? That'll tell you within the last year whether you've used any drugs and what kind of drugs you've used.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now you can sit down.
All right.
Talk to your daughter about birth control. That would be
It's
useful.
fixed.
Miss Amrit, you can't dispose of her property as cavalierly as you did. I believe you were annoyed that she had not given you any money, that she used some of your property, the whole business was an unpleasant experience. So I believe that what you did was you sold some of it, maybe you kept some, maybe you gave some to your relatives, maybe you sold some for your relatives. You can't do that. Can I see the bills for the furniture, please?
Yes. That, and then I have this. And the couch and the high chair I have pictures of. I don't have a receipt for that.
What'd you do with the sofa?
I threw it away. It was awful.
Carson's Furniture and Bedding, is this all the stuff that you brought?
The ones that are checked on the side, the dresser, the mirror, the entertainment center.
A dresser, mirror, and a 4-door chest, is that right?
Yes, and the entertainment center.
All this property was purchased, the delivery date was February 2005. So what you're telling me is you gave away a mirror that was new, a 4-door chest that was new, and you sold an entertainment center. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Now, did you have any sort of an agreement with her to pay rent?
No.
Tell me about the agreement that you say you had for rent.
Your Honor, I'm a single mother. I explained to Miss Levy that I could not afford to support anyone else in my home, so she would have to pay something to me for rent. We agreed upon $150 a week for everything, Your Honor.
You mean food? Who would shop?
Correct.
Excuse me, I bought $200 worth of groceries a week before I left. So the groceries were paid for.
Okay. Miss Amber, you owe her $606. You can't dispose of her property. You can't sell her property. I believe that her family tried to contact you. I believe that you didn't want to be contacted.
That's not
unless you have a bill to show me of the truck that you hired to come and dispose of her property, other than the entertainment center, which you acknowledge that you told, I don't believe that you hired a truck to come and take the property out of your garage. Do you understand? And I wouldn't fib in front of my child. It's not a good thing. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused.
She needed a place to live, and I was kind enough to allow her to live with me.
At least I got something, because she did have my stuff.
I learned from her telling me that she was doing cocaine.
That is untrue.
How can you do coke and have 4 kids?
I have a drug test. I have no problem proving it anytime.
Well, she was just an awful mother. It's just a shame.
She's saying I'm an awful mother. What kind of mother would lie in front of their child in front of a judge?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Whetstone versus Volstead. Step forward.
23-year-old Jessica Whetstone is suing her former friend, 27-year-old Ryan Volstead, for a loan to buy car speakers and gas money.
Bird, we've been involved in the justice system for a very long time, and you know, it's never too late to learn new things. The law is always changing. Today you're going to hear about a new defense, something that I had never heard of, but Mr. Volstead is going to tell us about his new defense to a debt. He and Miss Whetstone met online. They dated once. They became friends, according to her. And shortly thereafter, Mr. Volstead borrowed some money. 2 separate occasions, the beginning of July of 2005. The first was a small loan of $40 he needed.
Gas money.
Gas money. And then the next day, which would have been, according to you, July 8th, he needed some more money for what?
To pay for his Bronco to
keep it from getting repoed.
Repossessed.
Repossessed.
And how much did he need the next day?
He needed $350 for the speakers. So I told him that I would buy the speakers, hold them for him until he got the money, and then when he got the money, I would give him back the speakers.
So how much money did you give him?
At that time, for the speakers was $350.
Did you ever get the speakers?
No.
So he didn't give you the speakers and you gave him the money?
Right.
Okay, why didn't you get the speakers?
He told me that he would have to undo the wiring for the speakers, and he needed the money right away before the title loan company closed.
So he didn't give you the speakers and you gave him the money?
Right.
And you were really supposed to hold the speakers as collateral?
Right.
What happened to your car, Mr. Volstead?
I borrowed the money from Jessica.
Just a second. I asked you what happened to your car.
I was able to keep it.
You did? You still have it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I thought Miss Whetstone said it was repossessed. The next day, he told me his Bronco was repossessed anyway. Did you tell her that your car was repossessed anyway?
Yes, I had paid my loan, and they sent the repo company out after it anyway when they shouldn't have. So it was repossessed when it wasn't supposed to be.
So they gave it back to you?
They gave it back to me.
With her speakers?
Yes.
Why didn't you pay her the $390? Now we're coming to the defense, which I find interesting.
Well, we had agreed that I asked her to give me a week. I'll be able to get my speakers unwired so I don't have live wires.
This we're talking July, sir.
And with my work schedule, it was getting me home very late in the evening. And there was a short point of time where I had no conversation or contact with Jessica. Finally, we had talked, and she said she didn't want the speakers if I was not going to run and not pay her. And she says, as long as you're going to pay me back, then we're not going to have a problem. And I agreed.
When did she tell you that? In what month?
She told me that probably 2 or 3 weeks after she gave me
In July?
Yes.
So what happened in August, sir?
In the middle of August, I was starting my new job, and I was never home. I had no time during the day for anything. I was driving 70 miles one way to work and back. We had talked a couple of times.
Why haven't you paid her back?
Well,
we're well past July of 2005. Give me your defense.
The defense is there was no time given when I was supposed to have her paid back.
That's not what you tell me your defense was in your answer, sir. Your defense in your answer was she bothered me. And therefore, I don't feel as if I have to pay her back anymore because she stalked me and bothered me.
When there's points of time that she called 15 times in one day.
Why didn't you pay her back?
I didn't have it at the time.
You just told me you were working and driving 70 miles to and from work. You were so busy working, you couldn't even call her.
I had another prior engagement that I had to take care of and that she was aware of.
What kind of other prior engagement?
I was trying to get another vehicle back in my possession that I had a time frame for.
Listen, hold on to your money, right? Hold on to your money. Mr. Volstead, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim, I'm going to give you exactly 30 seconds to tell me about what your counterclaim is, unless you want to say, Judge, I don't want to go forward with this harassment counterclaim.
Upon a week after...
So you want 30 seconds?
Yes,
then you
please.
better talk faster.
After she told me there was a certain date she wanted the money or she was going to take me to court, I told her I didn't have it right then to give me another 2 weeks. She said, if you don't have it by this date, don't come by my house, don't send any correspondence to my house, talk to my family or friends, or I'll nail you for harassment. At that point in time, I figured, okay, well, if that's what it's going to cost for the friendship, be it.
What's your lawsuit about?
Within a week after that conversation, I had 4 tires on my vehicle with all the air out of them. I had to have the tire company come out and blow the air.
So what? What does that have to do with her?
I figured that was one of her last
marks
for revenge.
Who cares what you figured? Do you have any proof of that?
No, I do not.
So what are you bothering me for? This is a court. What else?
I got fed up with her trying to harass me every single day, calling me a liar, almost getting me evicted out of my apartment after I already made amends with my landlord, with my neighbors telling me that I have someone beating on my door late at night until they woke up.
Grow up. Grow up. Accept responsibility for what you're supposed to take care of. You borrowed this money, you said you would pay it back, and you should have done it. Clear?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $390. Your counterclaim, nonsense, is dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm pleased.
White versus Polk. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. White, the defendant is your niece.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, your niece had been living with you.
Yes.
You went away on business for a couple of weeks. And it is your claim that either your niece or someone that she invited to your home destroyed some of your property. And the most expensive thing that was destroyed was your car.
Yes, a 95 Nissan Pathfinder.
And that was damaged because, according to you, the car was not in good running order, and you had brought it back to your home to just sit there until you could take care of it. It was not to be driven. Somebody, either the defendant or someone else, drove the car, and because it was driven with no oil, the engine seized or something happened to the engine.
Exactly.
And the engine has to be replaced. Ms. Polk said somebody else did it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long was your niece living with you?
Ebony moved in with me in March, the middle of March.
Why?
I took Ebony out of a bad situation, Judge, and I let her come and stay with me. I was taking Ebony to and from work until I started having the trouble with the Pathfinder, which was in June. It started leaking oil, and I was told that by the mechanic, I have here the estimate. I needed a real main seal rod bearing, a main bearing. Sure.
Because you're just reading that. You don't understand what all that is. Ladies usually don't understand what all this is. It just is it doesn't run.
Yes, but that's why the Jeep was parked.
That's why it was parked?
Exactly.
Okay. So the original estimate back in June was $1,650 for parts and labor to fix the car at that time. So from middle of June until July the 6th, the car was just sitting.
Just sitting.
And your niece was living with you
She was still there.
And you were not giving her rides to and from work in this car?
No, she had to catch city transit.
Okay, so far is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh. And then when you went away on July 6th, were you going there for business or pleasure?
No, business. And I was gone for 2 weeks at the group home. Ebony asked if her best friend, Brandy, could stay in the home with her while I was gone. I had no problem with that. When I returned, my Jeep wasn't parked the way I had left it. And I knew then it had been moved. When Ebony came home that afternoon, I asked her what happened. And she told me that they drove that Jeep. And she had it towed back to my house.
What happened when you drove the Jeep, Ebony?
Well, I wasn't driving the Jeep. My friend Brandy was driving the Jeep.
Were you the passenger?
Yes.
So it doesn't make any difference. The two of you were in the car. Why did you take the car?
Because the fight had broke out at the house because I had a party. And, you know, a fight had broke out at the house, and I just said I had to go. It was still early, so we got in the Jeep and we went riding.
But you knew that you couldn't use the Jeep because you hadn't...
I know. I already know.
What do you mean you know, you know?
I know. I know the Jeep. I didn't know it was messed up like that because when we got ready to get in the Jeep, an oil leak, I looked under the Jeep and see if any oil on the concrete. It was no oil. So therefore, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was major like that. So we got in, started driving. Before we could get back to the house, it just stopped. I towed it back to the house. I got it back, I got it back to the, property fine and all right, but I feel like...
Well, you didn't get it back fine and all right. It had to be towed.
Well, it got back. It was better than leaving it on the side of the road.
You have another estimate for the car?
Exactly. Your Honor, not only that, Ebony went in my daughter's bedroom. I have a handicapped daughter. I had just bought her a 50 CD changer, took that child's stereo out, put it in the den. Now I'm left to buy her another stereo. They demolished that. 5 of her CDs were taken. Only the cases are left.
I was not responsible for that. It wasn't my fault. I did not know the CDs were gone.
For anything.
And I didn't know the stereo was messed up until she told me about it.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What kind of fight broke out in the house?
Well, it was a little scuffle, and when the scuffle happened, I told everybody they had to go.
Well, how many people were everybody?
It was only meant to be a few friends, few of Brandy's friends. It ended up being about 50, 60 people, and I knew that wasn't even going to work. So I told everybody they had to go.
She didn't have permission to have anybody in my house.
Well, listen to me.
I have here.
You made a big mistake.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I admit I did.
How old are you?
19.
Okay.
I feel like it's not my fault. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I wasn't driving it. I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Well, what about the carpet and the furniture?
The carpet.
Don't answer her yet. I'm still adding.
I'm sorry.
Let us assume that the damages, Miss Polk, that your aunt is claiming to her carpet, to the CD changer, the CDs, which she has itemized at, well, it's less than $44.23. It's less than that because I'm deducting the original $16.50 that you were going to be charged to fix the car. Let us assume that all of that is correct. Carpet got stained because somebody spilled wine on it.
I offered to clean it though, but she had a little attitude. I told her she had to wait till I got paid. But if she couldn't wait, she had an attitude. I got a mop and bleach and I tried to get it up. It was some stains, but I told her I was going to get the stain cleaner. She couldn't wait, oh well.
Where are you living now?
I stay with my friend.
Good.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rita White claims her niece Ebony Polk owes for the cost of a car engine and damage to her home. Rita says Ebony has a bad attitude.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have here where I had my carpet and furniture cleaned. I have the receipt here. I've already paid for that. Ebony feels like she's not responsible for anything.
Yes, I know that. What are we going to do about that?
Well, she cannot come back in my home.
Perfect.
There's no way.
Good.
I don't want to come back anyway.
She shouldn't come back to your home. Look, you spent $270 on the carpet.
That was the carpet and the furniture, the love seat and sofa.
And what
together.
about this CD changer?
Yes, that cost $279.
Do you have a bill for it?
No, I don't have that. The original price was like $319, but it was 6 months old because I bought it for her 25th birthday.
That was not my fault.
Well, whose fault was it? Tell me.
The gentleman who was in there who started the scuffle.
But I didn't tell
anyone. Just a second. You allowed those people into your home.
I didn't know it was going to be that many. I did not know all those people was coming. Brandy knew all those people was coming. I did not know. It was only supposed to have been a couple of people. Those was Brandy's friends. She is suing the wrong one.
Why didn't you call the police?
Because. Why?
What's a because?
Why? They were already gone. I didn't know who it was.
Oh. Listen to me. Some people are helpless. Some people are hopeless.
I am not hopeless.
Hopeless. Hopeless. Not helpless. Hopeless. Waste no more of your energy. You tried to do the right thing, didn't get there, doesn't get the message. She's got the attitude. It's never going to go away. You try to be a nice person. You said, invite your friend over. Don't stay alone. She abused your trust. She has no sense of right and wrong. She's 19 years old, so she's still young. But with that kind of an attitude, she's never going to change. Wash your hands and say, finito! And concentrate on your children, concentrate on your job, concentrate on what you do, concentrate on the fact that she owes you $3,038. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The Jeep was not my fault, and I'm not paying for that. And she knew that, so oh well.
All I can say is I love her. I love her, and I'll continue to pray for her.
She should have been talking to Brenda about that because those were her friends. She drove the Jeep, and it's her fault. Oh well.
I tried hard for Ebony.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Blocker Thomas. Step forward, please.
35-year-old administrator Gina Johnson is suing 30-year-old nurse Crystal Blocker Thomas for the cost of a wedding veil.
Miss Johnson, were you and the defendant friends before you loaned her your veil? Your
yes,
wedding veil?
acquaintances for about 8 years.
Acquaintances, but not good friends?
No.
It's your complaint that you loaned her your wedding veil. She was getting married, and when she finally got around to returning it after many requests, it was ruined, and you want the value of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'd like you to tell me when you agreed to loan her your veil.
We played basketball together in a women's basketball league, and our league had just ended. It was about March. And probably around the mid of March, we went to a restaurant and discussed that she was getting married sometime in July, and how expensive it was to get married. And I explained to her that I knew a lot of ways to cut costs, and I had some items that she could borrow. And I had not heard from Crystal after we had that lunch until the morning of her wedding, and that was sometime in July. She called me at 6:45 a.m., spoke to my husband. She called back about 9:15 that morning. And I explained to her, you know.
What did she say to you when you spoke to her at 9 o'clock in the morning?
She says, "Hi, Gina, this is Crystal. I'm calling you because I would like to borrow your wedding veil." You remember when we had the conversation about borrowing the veil? And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "When you get married?" She says, "Today." And I said,
so you were not really close friends because you weren't going to the wedding?
Right. Correct.
So you're just acquaintances?
Right.
So go ahead.
And so when I talked to her on the phone, I said, "Well, Crystal, I have plans today. You know, you're getting married today. What time?" And I believe she said about 4 o'clock. And I'm a woman of my word. I said that she could borrow it. I was going to let her borrow it. I didn't want to leave her out. And so about that time, I told her, "Okay, I've got plans. You need to meet me closer to my home." She agreed to meet me I guess it was about noon. And I met her, gave her my veil in its original plastic bag on a hanger hanging in mint condition. And she got out of the car and across the street and gave her my veil. I said, "Congratulations. Get this back to me as soon as you can." She says, "No problem. Thank you."
Okay, so you had your wedding?
Yes.
Now you say she gave you the veil.
Yes.
Well, let me hear, because the wedding, it's clear that the veil must have come back in terrible condition, which you'll show me in a minute. Tell me about your recollection of the conversation that took place in July when you got married.
Okay, we were at Ken Ride's, and as she stated, we were talking about the wedding. Gina just openly said, "Crystal, if you need anything, I have so many things that I'm not going to use again. They're not, you know, they're going to be totally obsolete. So if you need anything, just call me, and I'll be more than willing to give you whatever I have." She said, "Because I know I'm not going to use it again." So I said, "Okay, well, I don't believe I need too much because I'm pretty much finished."
You called her the day of your wedding?
Yes.
And you told her you didn't have a wedding veil? Had you forgotten to get a wedding veil?
No. Well, I guess I did forget because I wasn't going to wear a piece. I wasn't going to wear a headpiece.
And then you decided to wear a headpiece?
Right.
So you called her first thing in the morning?
No, I called her about because I went to go get my hair done first thing in the morning. And the way she did my hair, I realized a veil would probably look better.
So you called her and asked her for hers?
I asked her, did she have one? Because we never discussed that I would use her veil. I asked her, did she have one? And she said, as a matter of fact, I do.
When she gave you the veil, she gave it to you on a hanger?
She gave it to me on a hanger with 2 safety pins in it.
And it was covered with plastic?
A trash bag, not a bridal bag.
It was covered with plastic?
Yes.
And it was in perfect enough condition for you to use that day. I assume you used it. I assume you used it that day.
I didn't use the entire veil. I altered it.
What do you mean you altered it?
Because we let her know, because I was with my friend Tamara that dropped me out, that was doing the driving rather. And she let me know, Tamara let her know this will
Where's
not
Tamara?
work. This is Tamara right here.
Step up. Did you ever tell the plaintiff that you were going to change, alter, cut, modify the veil?
Yes, ma'am, we did mention that day because when we...
No, I want you to tell me what you said, because she said she didn't say anything.
Well, when I looked at the veil, I said the headpiece would have to come off because of how Crystal's hair was done that day, because it's a headband type headpiece. It would not go over her hair.
And when did you tell that to the plaintiff?
Right when we got out the car, because we were both out of the car. And actually,
did she tell you that?
No, Your Honor. The first time I saw her, she was behind the wheel. I had never spoke to her.
Did they ever tell you that they were going to do anything to alter your headpiece?
No, Your Honor.
Of course not. Let me see how they returned it, please.
Your Honor, and I also have my friend Teresa Cackley, who is here as a witness, who heard the original conversations.
I don't care what the original conversation was. Nobody gives a stranger their wedding veil. Now, when it was returned to you, I read your complaint, and you said that this is just a piece of... Where's the whole piece?
She still has it, Your Honor, and that's a headpiece.
This is the actual headpiece.
When it was returned to you, was it returned to you in a garbage bag full of other things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
I didn't return it to her. My husband brought it to the gym because she was talking badly about me to her.
So she wanted her wedding veil back. Why
Okay.
didn't you give it back to her?
She let me have it. Why would I give it back if she let me have it?
Listen, is that also a piece from her wedding veil?
No, this is how we auctioned it. This is the actual necklace that went on the veil. As you can see, we just...
Just a minute. Was that originally on the veil when she gave it to you?
No.
That?
No.
That was your piece?
Yes.
Now, this has nothing to do with money. So I want you just to answer my question. Do you have all the pieces now that you had from your veil?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
What is missing?
As you can see, someone picked the pearls off of the back of it. You can see where some of them were glued here, and they've been removed off the veil.
So there's no way that, I mean, you're going to get your money. There's no way you're not going to get your money, whatever the cost of the veil was, because Miss Thomas is not operating with a full deck. I never heard of any young woman who thought that she borrowed either a wedding dress from an acquaintance, not a friend, not a best friend, not somebody who was invited to the wedding, from an acquaintance, borrowed a wedding veil, borrowed shoes, borrowed a bag, and then said, oh, it's mine. I can now treat it like garbage. You're absolutely outrageous, and your husband is a bigger slob by returning it in that garbage bag to her with some old dead flowers in it. Was there wedding cake in there, too?
Your Honor, that is her bouquet that she returned and did not know it was in the bag. And that's the only way I could get her to return my calls, that she wanted her bouquet back.
Really? Why did you want your bouquet back? No. Just answer my, don't think about it. Just tell me, why did you want your bouquet back?
Because it's my bouquet. And
oh! So it's your bouquet.
Right.
And you want it back. Sue for it. Sue for it. I want you to listen to me very carefully. You're going to be unsuccessful.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because your husband gave it to her.
Well, she gave me her veil.
No, she didn't.
She never said it was
No,
alone.
she didn't. You just told me your husband gave her this entire bag. I am finding that she loaned you the veil, which you destroyed. But it's so interesting to me, Miss Thomas, that you say, well, it's my bouquet from my wedding. I want it back. And you can't understand why really a stranger who was being nice to you gave you her wedding veil, which is expensive, which was lovely, and you think, she gave it to me, and I don't have to give it back to her. So, you want those flowers? I suggest you file a lawsuit. I hope it doesn't come before me, because if it comes before me, you're not going to get it back because your husband gave it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested. The veil is worth at least $220. That's all.
Thank you, Your
Parties
Honor.
are excused. You may 602 and 604 on the calendar. One in the matter of M. Zamora versus Jones. The other one in the matter of R. Zamora versus Jones. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
According to your complaint, you and the defendant were living together. You planned on getting married. Didn't work out. He moved out.
Okay.
You claim he owes you some money for some rent, some bills, and in addition, shortly after he moved out, he came back, there was an altercation, and he injured you, and you want him to pay your medical bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, when did he move out?
He moved out in June of '99.
And what month's rent do you claim he owes you?
Last month's rent.
Which month?
October.
But he wasn't living there.
No. His name was still on the lease, so I expect him to still pay half.
And how much was the rent?
The rent was $430.
Okay. Now, what kind of damage did he do when he moved out?
While he was leaving, police officers were present because previous altercations between us. After he did leave, there were damages done to the apartment.
After he left?
Right after he took all the furniture and everything out with him.
Like what kind of damage?
Holes burnt in the carpet, holes in the walls. I have pictures if you would like to see.
I'd like to see the pictures, and I would like to see the landlord's estimate. Have you moved out of the apartment?
Yes, I have.
When did you move out?
I moved out in October.
Now tell me about the next part of your lawsuit, which has to do with an assault.
He came to my apartment after he had left. He had heard rumors that I was seeing somebody new and got jealous.
When was that?
This was in September. He came to my apartment. We got into an argument. We ended up outside, and an altercation happened between us.
Well, tell me about it.
I was arguing with his new girlfriend, and he grabbed me by my arms, putting multiple bruises on me, which I also have pictures of. We were pushing and shoving, and my knee popped. The ambulance was called. I went to the emergency room.
Well, how did your knee get popped?
He pushed me.
Not true at all. Not true at all, Your Honor.
How did he push you?
When he had grabbed me by my arms, I was trying to make him let go of me. I tried to get away. He grabbed me from behind with his right hand around my throat. When I was trying to get away from that, I was twisting and turning since he had a hold of me, and that resulted in my knee popping.
Were you fighting with his girlfriend?
No, I was not.
Were you fighting with him?
Yes, I was.
How were you fighting with him?
Trying to get his arms off me.
How did you get outside?
I was trying to get him out of my apartment.
How were you doing that?
He tried to shove his way in my door, and I told him to leave. It resulted in a fight. He tried to steal my cat, try to get my cat back. After that, that's when he grabbed me by my arms and then grabbed me from behind with his...
How did you try to get your cat back?
Just ran after him.
Were you arrested for that?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Were you taken into custody?
No, ma'am.
No charges were ever filed with regard to that case?
Later on, about a month later.
I pressed charges the same day, Your Honor.
About a month. It was about a month later. I've received a phone call from my father at work. Said that there was police officers came for a warrant. I turned myself in, and then it proceeded from there. I had to go to court for it and everything.
Well, that's what I want to know. You did go to court. Did you have a lawyer?
Yes, I did.
Did you appear before a judge?
Yes.
Was the case resolved?
Yes.
How was it resolved?
I had deferred prosecution, where I had to stay away. We had to both stay away from each other for 180 days. If no altercations were occurred in 180 days, then the case was dismissed.
You may call it a deferred prosecution, but it really is a period of 6 months probation.
Okay.
Did your lawyer explain that to you?
No, he didn't explain to me fully. Like I said, he said I had no charges were pending or anything like that. The prosecutor informed me that there wasn't enough evidence and I had too many witnesses.
Don't tell me what the prosecutor told you about not enough evidence. There wasn't enough evidence. You should have insisted on a trial. Then you would not have had a 6-month probationary period. What did you go to her house for in September?
I was with her sister and my girlfriend here. We went to her house. I dropped her sister off. She said she had to talk to her. And at that time, we had a cat that I got, and it was running around in the stairs. It ran up the stairs. I followed the cat. She was already talking to her sister at the time with the door open. I went up there to get the cat. I picked up the cat. Then the man that moved in with her after I left the place started saying stuff to me, arguing with me. Then she proceeded to argue with me. She came at me, smacked me in my face, started punching me in my chest.
Not true.
I went to walk away. Her sister grabbed her, told her to leave me alone, to let me go. I grabbed the cat, proceeded down the stairs, got all the way outside of the apartment building. She ran past me, went to my car where my girlfriend was sitting. The window was cracked. She was talking on her cell phone. She proceeded to stick her hands through the window, the cracked window, grabbed her by the hair.
Not true.
And started pulling her out through the window.
Did that happen?
Yes, it did.
Go ahead.
That time she grabbed her, I told her to let her go. I did grab her arms to pull her hands away from her hair. I said, let go of her hair, let go of her hair. She said, no, I'm not going to let go. I said, you let go of her hair and I'll let you go. She finally let go of her hair. I backed away, and then she proceeded at me again to hit me. She got out of the car, then Monica proceeded to go after her. When she started proceeding to go after her, she hurt her knee, fell down.
Your Honor,
Then the
I have
ambulance was
pictures
called.
of the multiple bruises that were on my arms that he gave me.
Oh, I'll take a look
There's
at
no
them.
other way I could have gotten these.
I'll take a look at them. How do you think that happened, Mr. Mora? How do you think these black and blue marks happened?
By him. He gave them to me.
How?
By grabbing me and holding on to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it for 5 years. It wasn't the first time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Monica Zamora says her ex-fiancé, Ronald Jones, owes her for rent and for medical bills resulting from an altercation. Ronald says Monica slashed his furniture and slandered his name on the internet.
All this isn't as clear as you make it appear. I want you to know that I understand that. He says that there was another person that moved into the house shortly after he left.
He lied about that.
Just a second. Did you at that time have some other person, a male, staying over occasionally at your house?
No, ma'am. Never did he stay one night. Yes, I started seeing somebody. This is the reason he came to my apartment.
I mean, I don't see why he would come over there with his new girlfriend.
His new girlfriend is my new boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. That's the reason they're together.
So what?
There was nobody staying with me.
Listen to me.
I had 3 jobs to pay my bills.
Listen to me. He didn't come over there because he was jealous. He may have come over there because his girlfriend said to him, why are you being such an idiot and paying the rent when he's staying over there with her? Now, that may or may not have been true. Certainly, he was there on that September day when this altercation took place.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down. You know, you have to be objective even with regard to your own children, right? Now, I want to know why you went outside.
He took my cat and grabbed it. That was a gift to me.
So you went outside after him?
Yes, I did.
And are you telling me you never went over to his car?
No, I didn't. I didn't even
Step
see.
up.
Didn't even see his car.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Jennifer.
Jennifer what?
Martinez.
I want you to tell me about this day in September of 1999, if you can recall it.
Well, like Ron said, I was sitting in the car talking on my cell phone. The window was cracked about maybe this much, and she reaches her hand in the car and says, "Get out." And she's grabbed me by the side of my hair. She has me by the side of her hair. I asked her, "What are you doing?" She said, "Get out." So she reaches her other hand, and at this point in time, both arms are in about this deep. She busted my face on the left
Why didn't you
side
press
underneath
charges?
my eye. At that time, Ron went over there. He was like, "Look, let her go. There's no need for this. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving." So she's like, "No, get her out of the car. I want to beat her up," and so forth and so on, for whatever reasons of her own. To this day, I don't know. Fine. So she tries to get me out of the car. So I told her, "How am I going to get out the car out of a crack of a window? Let me open the door." So she's all pressed up against the door.
Okay, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Sit down.
Thank you.
Sit down. I want to hear something, Mr. Jones, about your countersuit.
Okay.
You say that Ms. Zamora took a knife and ripped up furniture.
That's correct.
Tell me about it.
That day, the day I moved out, she called the cops because I wanted to move out.
Why would the police be called to the house?
Because I wanted to take my stuff with me, and she thought that she was able to keep it. When everything was in my name, I had receipts for it. I showed the police.
Okay, so that's why the police were called, because
Yes.
you were taking some property out of the house. Okay, and what happened?
The police told me I had to get my stuff and go as soon as possible. So they waited there. They waited there until I got my stuff out. Before the police were called, before the police got there, I was moving some stuff downstairs to the...
What stuff?
I was moving clothes. I was getting my clothes, putting them in bags, and taking them downstairs to the basement, so when my family got there to help me move, I'd be all ready. When I came back up, she was putting a knife back into the kitchen sink. I started to proceed to move the furniture out of the living room, and there were slashes in the side of them. I do have pictures if you'd like to see those.
Can I see them, please?
I saw the furniture.
There's one slash, is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
There's a slash in each end of the couch and the love seat.
I see. Did you do this?
No, ma'am.
There's no reason for me to rip my own furniture when I paid for it.
No.
There isn't.
I paid for that furniture. That furniture was in both of our names, but it didn't matter to me. I just wanted him to leave.
Well, why do you think somebody would slash the furniture like that?
I have no idea why he would do that.
I have
Or
no
who
idea
else
why
would do
anybody
it. I
would
don't
do
know.
that to their furniture either. All right. There's another part of this lawsuit. Now you can stand up, Mr. Zamora, because you're suing him because you say he borrowed $350 to use as a security deposit for the apartment. Did he borrow that money for security deposit?
He borrowed the money to get an apartment and incidentals. He did not have a place to live. He had just started to work.
Security deposit is $445. Who put down the security deposit?
I borrowed the money from him, Your Honor, for the security deposit.
So you put
Yes.
down the security deposit on the apartment
I
with
put
his money.
Right. I put down a first month's rent, and he loaned me the rest of it for the security deposit, which I borrowed $550 from him.
And you paid some back?
I paid some back.
So $350 is left. Is that right, Mr.
Yes.
Zamora? So your daughter did not put down any security deposit in this apartment. Is that right?
Correct.
The cleaning and painting is just $395.
Yes, I'm only asking for half the last month's rent, but I want him to pay for all of the damages because he did the
No. $395 is cleaning and painting.
Okay.
Half of that, say it's $200.
Okay.
But he's already got $350 in there for security deposit because she didn't put any in. You can't get it both ways. You can't get your loan back from him, plus you're going to get back the money from the security deposit that's not eaten up by the landlord's cleanup. Can't get both. You following me? Perfect. So, in addition, I don't believe your daughter with regard to what happened that day in September when she called the police and there was an altercation at the house. I don't believe her
previous
story.
reports.
What?
We have previous police reports of their altercations.
I don't care about previous. That's not what I'm here talking about. I'm telling you, I do not believe the story that your daughter told me that he assaulted her the way she described it and that she was solely without blame. I do
no,
not.
It takes two to argue.
I do not believe that it came about the way she described it to me, that he, for no reason whatsoever, assaulted her. I do not believe it happened that way.
We have previous police reports of him assaulting her.
Stop it!
Oh, no. I mean, so he's not going to stop assaulting her unless you tear him apart.
I believe that she got bruised in the arm because she went after his girlfriend in the car. I believe that that happened. I'm not saying you're blameless with regard to the altercation that happened in the house. I believe that you shouldn't have been there.
Correct.
Period. End of discussion. You should not have been there. You precipitated something that developed into maybe more than what you bargained for. You had no cause to be there at all. But I do not believe it happened in the way that the plaintiff described, so I am not holding you responsible for her medical bills. You have a hospital report?
I should.
Sir, and I'm not even entertaining your defamation of character end of your lawsuit. She said she put nasty things about you on the internet?
Yes, Your
Like
Honor.
what?
I have a paper printout up from American Online.
Let me see it. Do you have a report from any of these?
A report?
That says that what the x-rays found?
I think that's all I have, Your Honor.
Show this to the plaintiff, please. Is that your handle on the internet?
No, it's not. But it's funny. But
Yes,
no,
it is.
I did not do this.
What proof do you have that she did that?
That is her online name. Her nickname is Coca. Since I've been with her for 5 years, it's always been that. My friend was online. She emailed him. He didn't know who it was. He looked up her online, her profile. That's under her profile. He called me the next morning and told me what was going on. So I asked him to print me a copy of it.
Did you ever use the name Coca?
Yes, it's been my name for a long time.
Well, why didn't you say that? I said, is this your handle? You said no.
Oh, I thought you asked me if I did that.
I didn't ask you if you did that. I said, is this your handle?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh. Why would anybody put such a terrible thing on the computer?
I don't know, ma'am. I can't tell you because I didn't do it.
No?
I did not type those things. Anybody could have typed that.
Well, I know that. I know that anybody could have done it.
Could have even been her sister. Her sister has added quite a bit of fuel to the flames between these two, including taking him to the apartment.
Could have been a lot of things. Somebody else could have used her name, and somebody else with a grudge against both the defendant and his new girlfriend might have written that both of them are highly contagious with one or more venereal diseases. So there may have been somebody who used your daughter's name, who also had a personal axe to grind against these two people, who would write something like this and put it on the internet. That's possible. It's a bit far-fetched. It's a bit far-fetched. If I was satisfied by the required quantum of proof that she had, in fact, done this,
Okay.
oh, I would award you substantial damages.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I'm very familiar with online. You cannot get on somebody's profile without your password to get into that computer.
How do I know about this profile? How do I know that somebody
That's
used her
exactly
profile?
what that statement is from. That's from her profile. That's why she puts her nickname in there. That is her profile.
Do you understand that? Bert, all I want to know from you is...
You can't get onto somebody's profile.
Could anybody have written that?
Fundamentally, Judge, anybody could have written this.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I want to tell you something. I'm not convinced that you're going to get a penny from the assault, because I think that you were at least partially involved with her, which caused the bruises to your arm, so you're not going to get a penny for that. You're not going to get a penny for your $350 that is outstanding from the loan. Get it back from the landlord when the lease is over. You are going to get $215 towards October rent. Do you understand? That you're going to get. I am, in fact, satisfied that the plaintiff did damage your furniture, because I see no reason why somebody else would damage furniture that they intended to use that looked brand new to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
You understand. So I'm offsetting the $215 that he owes you for the rent to have your furniture repaired. Goodbye, folks.
Parties are on the calendar in the matter of Harper versus Boozer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Ms. Harper, the defendant was a friend of yours, according to your complaint. You loaned her some money. According to you, you have a note to prove the loan. She did not repay you the entire amount, and you want it. Is that what this is about?
Yes.
Defendant says she borrowed some money, not as much as you claim. She paid you back every cent that she owes you. So, when did you make this loan and why?
I made the loan to Lisa on 6/20/01 because she had written 6 fraudulent checks and she needed the money to repay the checks.
Well, how did you find out about this need that she had for the money?
She called me on 6/19 at 10 o'clock in the morning and asked me to pick her up from work because she had a warrant out on for these checks. So.
She had a warrant out?
Mm-hmm.
How much money did she tell you she needed?
$1,200 and something dollars.
Go ahead.
I had a loan that I had previously and I had paid it off. So she asked me if I could help her. Could I see if I could borrow the money from there to help her out?
What money? Explain that to me.
I borrowed some. I had a loan already at First Franklin. It was, you know, where I could go back and borrow money if I needed to. So then I called them and I asked her, could I borrow $1,200? And she said I could borrow up to $2,000. So I told her I didn't need that much, that I needed $1,200. So I had to do $1,500.
Why did you have to do 15?
I couldn't borrow $1,200.
So let me see the loan papers where you borrowed $1,500. Okay. And the total payments that you had to make with all the interest that they add up was $2,280 on this $1,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead.
So then I got the money, and they wrote me out a check, and I had to take the check to the bank, and I cashed the check. And me and my witness, Alice Tanner, we went. I had to pick Alice up to take her to work, so we went to Lisa's sister's house, and I gave her $1,480, and I had her sign.
Now let me see the note that you say you had her sign. Would you show the defendant this and ask her if it's her signature? Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
Fine. Okay, so I'm going to read this note. It says, I, Regina Harper, that's you, borrowed $2,280 from First Franklin Financial Corporation on 6/20/01 for Lisa Boozer, in which she, Lisa, agrees to pay $100 on the 20th of every month until the balance is paid in full. And you signed that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how much did you give her back?
Judge Judy, first of all, it was 5 fraudulent checks, okay? The total came up to $830. I have the receipts right here where I paid them. I had $100 of my own money. My mother gave me $30. Regina only gave me $700. I never seen none of the agreement that she signed with the loan company or any of that.
You signed this piece of paper?
Because she said she needed, she was going to get her bills consolidated, and that she needed to let them know that she was not paying that back, that I was the one that needed to pay that back, not her. Me and her split it that. She needed money for school to pay school off to get her, her grades. She gave me $700 and she kept the rest of it.
Well, how am I supposed to tell that from this note that you signed? How am I supposed to tell that? I mean, are you an unintelligent girl?
No, I am not.
Well,
me and Regina both went to college together, and she knows this.
If you went to college together,
ma'am.
So you are clearly an intelligent young woman. This is a promissory note for $2,280, where you promised to pay back $100 a month. Now, I don't doubt that scenario could have happened.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you're an intelligent young woman. Why would you sign something like this?
Because we were friends, and she said she needed the money for her new baby to get her bills consolidated so she wouldn't be in a bind.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Now, you paid her back some. Let me see the receipts of what you paid her.
I never got any receipts. I gave Regina cash. My sister was with me every time I paid her.
all the receipts. She has made 3 payments.
You never gave me a receipt. You never.
Because you never paid
You
it.
never gave me no
paid it.
receipt.
I paid it.
Where you gave the receipt to?
Don't fight with each other. Listen
name.
to me.
It's in
Don't
your
fight with each other.
Hell, I'm gonna have a receipt.
Shh, don't fight with each other. Don't speak
She
to each
wouldn't
other.
have a
Don't
receipt,
speak.
Judge Judy, because she never went and paid the loan. I had to go and track her down every 20th of the month, 25th, and go and make the payments myself, go to this place.
How
2 or
many
3
payments
times.
did she make?
She made 3.
Of $300?
She made 3 payments of 3, so that's $300, and I've been making them ever since.
Can my sister please speak, Judge Judy?
Sure.
Come on, please.
Go ahead.
They made the transaction at my house, and it was $700 that Regina counted out to my sister at my house. Then we went and we paid on the checks. Me, my mom, and my sister went and paid on the checks. And I was with Lisa on a couple occasions when she did make the payments to Regina. Regina came over to my house to get the payment. The young lady that's with her now, she don't even know where I stay. I never met her. It's my first time ever meeting her. And we went up to the hospital to also give Regina some money, too.
So, I have a piece of paper here. It is a contract. It says, I will pay back this amount of money. If there was a side contract that it wasn't going to be that much money, and I'm not doubting that it's possible that that happened, but I'm not dealing with an unintelligent young woman here.
You're right.
I'm dealing with an intelligent young woman. You have a contract. You agreed. It was notarized. You went in to somebody actually to have it notarized. The signature's notarized. So you were aware that this was a binding sort of contract.
You know, Judge Judy, you know, it's ironic that this would come up after Regina was under investigation at Spummer Regional Medical Center for going into her baby's father, new girlfriend's files. And I told her, me and her went to college together, and we went through too much to get to where we was at. And if they ever came to me and asked me, was she the one that went in her files
and they would see that
found
you
out.
pulled up her.
No,
All right,
ma'am.
listen, I'm not.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. You know you did it.
Miss
I don't
Boozer,
want
Miss
SCT.
Boozer.
Yes,
She's
ma'am.
saying she don't have.
Listen to me.
I don't have S6.
1,
She's
2,
saying-
3. And you're out of here. I'm not a young person anymore. I don't like to shout.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Regina Harper says former friend Lisa Boozer refuses to pay back a loan.
You borrowed this money in June.
Yes, ma'am.
And the interest was substantial. And according to you, and even according to your witness, you made no more than 3 payments on the $700 because that's all she's prepared to testify to. Why didn't you pay the rest? Why? No, don't make up a story. Why didn't you pay the rest?
I paid her the rest. I made, the last payment I gave her was January when I received the court papers.
When you paid her in January, did you get a receipt?
No.
Then I don't believe you. And I'm going to tell you why. Then I'm going to tell you why. Did you pay her by check?
No.
Then I'm going to tell you why. Because unless you are really thick, somebody sues you, and you want to make your final payment. And you say that I won't owe you anything, even though the amount that she was suing you for was different. If you give her the money, you at least say, at least this time, I'm going to do it by a money order so that I have a record. I'm going to do it with a receipt so I have a record. I'll do it by check so I have a record. But you don't just go and hand her the money in cash. So I don't believe you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, the amount of $1,700. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think that, you know, she need to go get a life and find her baby's father.
She never was my friend. And when she get back home, she will be picked up because she wrote another check in December.
She goes into her ex-boyfriend's, new girlfriend's files and finds out that she has breast cancer. And was going around telling everybody. Spartanburg and tell everybody.
Stay away from this one.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Oakley versus Graham. Step forward, please.
50-year-old construction worker Mike Oakley is suing 44-year-old contractor Hans Graham for running him off the road and assaulting him in a fit of road rage. Hans claims Mike started it.
All right, you two gentlemen were in your cars. You don't know each other. And there was an incident that looked to me like a little bit of road rage. Mr. Oakley, you claimed that the defendant caused damage to your car.
Yes.
You want to tell me first when this happened?
This happened November 9th, 6:20 a.m.
Where were you going or coming from, sir?
I was going to work up I-15 out of San Diego.
Was it light or dark out?
It was just getting light.
What kind of car were you driving?
2002 Toyota truck.
Okay, tell me what happened.
I was in the second lane, which is right next to the fast lane, which I travel that lane.
How many lanes are there altogether?
There was 6.
Go ahead.
We were just going along, and
who was with you?
Donnie is he works for our company too. He's a carpooler. He rides with me.
Okay.
Driving along, and we got slow traffic in the second lane. It was down to about 60 miles an hour, and I signaled, moved over into the fast lane. Before I knew it, Mr. Graham was on my rear end, and he went to go around me in the second lane. He went past me and cut back into the first lane, and that's where he clipped me and knocked me out of control. I went left, I went right, I went left again and got it under control. I pulled off the road because I couldn't go to the right, there were so many lanes. I pulled off. He had pulled off in front of me about 30, 40 feet. Got out of my truck. As soon as I shut my door, Mr. Graham was right on top of me, saying that he was going to kick my... And he pushed me, and I fell over the little wall that's in between the freeways. I got back up, went to the back of my truck, reached in for a hammer because I didn't know what this guy was going to do next. He came down the side of the truck, stopped there. He went towards the window and asked Donnie if he would like a little bit of this too, and he punched the window. The window didn't break, and after that he came back again, he stopped and went back to his truck. He wrote down some information, I guess, and he threw the information at me, said I had to go to work, and he left the scene.
All right, let me see the police report, please. What is that piece of cardboard that you have, sir?
That's showing how the accident happened. This is Mr. Graham, or this is me, and this is Mr. Graham. He came up behind us. I guess this is the wrong way. Here we go. I'm sorry. Well, he was in the one lane.
You're the red car. Listen to me. In the way
No,
you
I'm
have
not
that
the red-
diagram,
I'm in the second lane here. I moved over, and when he went around...
I said you're
yes,
the red
yes,
car.
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're the red car.
Okay. So I moved over into this lane.
Okay, and probably what you did was you cut him off. Is that right, Mr. Graham?
Yes, ma'am.
You cut him off.
I
And he
got
got
in front of him.
angry.
Yes.
So he went around you
Went around me.
to get back in front of you to cut you off.
Yes. And he clipped my front end.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to get to you in a second.
Thank you.
Can I see what kind of damage was done to your truck, please?
I have the pictures here. It's kind of hard to see because of the light. And here's the estimate for the damage.
What kind of deductible do you have, sir?
$1,000.
Okay. Now, Mr. Graham, I'll hear you, sir.
Is that the amended police report? Because there was actually two, and I never got the amended one. This was the first one filed. Okay, he left out a couple key facts there. He cut me off, straight off, underneath, couldn't even see his lights. I couldn't even hit my brakes. I went around him and actually kept my tires still in this lane here. When we went up here, I was not concentrating on him. There was another car beside me. I was holding on to my steering wheel, watching this car here. Boom, all of a sudden we make contact. I look back to see him lose control of his vehicle.
Mr. Graham, why did you attempt to get back into the
I didn't. I stayed straight. I went around him. When he made the lane change, he actually went too far over. I mean, he came in front of me quick, and he knows it. He knows he cut me off. You ask him point blank. He
Mr.
cut
Graham,
me off.
that may have happened, sir.
Okay, I didn't even see his lights.
No, listen to me. That may have happened, sir. Let's say he didn't look before he put on his signal. Now, I have, in fact, in my lifetime, seen some drivers. They do the following. They put on their signal, then they change lanes, and then they look. And I'll say to them, no, you got the order wrong. The order is you put on your blinker, then you look. If it's clear, then you change lanes.
That's not what he did. He went.
Okay. So, Mr. Graham, do you think that he did that because he wanted to get into an accident or because he just wasn't thinking?
He wasn't thinking.
Right. Just stop right there. So if somebody's not thinking, I mean, he wasn't a nut, just wasn't thinking. And I've seen that. I'm sure that most of us have been in that situation where, you know, you're thinking about something else and you want to change a lane, or you're getting on a highway and, you know, you're looking in one direction, you get on the parkway, and all of a sudden you see a car. It comes out of nowhere. That's what causes accidents. But why did you get so angry?
Well,
you got Mr. Graham.
Not yet. Can I finish? You told me let me have my chance to talk.
You got angry because
Okay.
he cut you off.
No, I didn't. Everything happened so quick, I had to get by him. I had another car here. I got angry when we got out of the truck, and that's where he left out more key parts. We weren't 30 feet apart. Our truck was 10 feet apart. I walked to the back of my truck. He threw his door open, got out, threw his hands up, and said, "Why didn't you let me in?" And when he took a step towards me, I stepped towards him. He wasn't going to hit me, so I pushed him. He fell down.
No, Mr. Graham. Listen to me, sir. I read your answer very carefully. You said when he got out of the truck, he said to you, "Why didn't you let me in?" And then you wrote, "I pushed him."
No, he threw his hands up. I'm
So
telling you,
he threw his hands. So he threw his hands up. You said, "So I pushed him." And then you say he jumped back up, which means you pushed him hard enough to knock him down.
Yes, ma'am. He fell down.
So when I say to you, Mr. Graham, that you were angry, can't say to me I wasn't angry.
Oh, no.
You were angry.
I was angry when I got out of the truck. Yes,
You
ma'am.
were angry before you got out of the truck.
No, ma'am.
Well, I think you were.
Well, I didn't have time. It happened like 1, 2, 3. And then he jumped up and he went to his window that I hit, and he told his buddy, "Are you going to get out of the truck or what?" And that's when I said, "Yeah, come on, hit him, get out of the truck."
Mr. Graham, why did you, just a second, you just said you went over to his buddy where you had just hit the window. Why did you hit his window?
No, he went to his buddy.
No, you said to me, I just hit the window.
I did.
You said to me, I hit the
Yes,
window.
ma'am. But
Before... Why did you hit his window?
I'm talking to his buddy. "Go ahead, get out of the truck. Come on, get out of the truck."
You were out of control.
No.
You were out of control. He may have done the wrong thing by cutting you off. And if he got out of the car and say, "Why didn't you let me in?" And maybe it's possible that it's not as I had originally thought, that he just wasn't looking, but that he wanted to get over, and maybe you weren't letting him in, and he went over anyway. That's a possibility. But my sense of what happened here is you totally overreacted to a situation.
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
Where were you going to, Mr.
I was
Graham?
going to work. I was going to a job where I install a marble and granite, and I had a marble delivery there I had to sign for. I was not out of control. If I would have been out of control, I would have thumped him.
You were out of control, sir, because you put your hands on him first, and then you went over to...
He stepped towards me with his hands in the air.
No.
Yes, ma'am, he did.
No. I don't believe that, sir. I don't
Okay.
believe that he stepped towards you with his hands in the air in a combative position. If he did, I'm telling you, based upon your posture here today, you would have hit him, not pushed him. And then after that happened, you went over to his friend. I'm speaking. You went over to his friend who was in the passenger seat, and you banged on the window.
No, but
Judge
I was
for the
under
plaintiff
control.
for the amount of $1,000. That's all.
We're not going to look at the pictures or anything?
I just did.
Excuse you may versus Berger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Kimball? Yes. You and the defendant are neighbors. According to your complaint, as a result of her causing a disturbance, you called the police, and in retaliation for that, she threw some chemical on your car causing damage.
Yes.
You wanted to pay for that damage. Ms. Berger is countersuing for thousands of dollars because she says you had her falsely arrested. She's suing for malicious prosecution. So let's start. How long have you been living at your present location?
2 months.
And you moved in after Ms. Berger was already there?
No, ma'am. We was there quite a
We've
bit of time.
relocated.
We was there way before she was.
So you moved?
Right.
After this incident?
When she got out of jail, we moved.
How long had you been living in the location where this incident took place?
Almost 2 years.
And how long had Ms. Berger been living there?
About 5 months.
When did this incident occur?
October.
October what?
8th, year 2000.
That was in the evening?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Previous to this incident, we had called the police several times on Miss Berger because of loud music. We called the manager first, and he was afraid to go down there. Then we would call the owner, and he said, "Oh, just call the police."
What kind of premises is it? An apartment?
It's trailer park. She was right next to us.
Playing the stereo at 8 o'clock in the afternoon.
You'll have a chance.
In the evening.
Pay attention. You'll have a chance.
Okay.
Prior to Ms. Berger moving in, did you have a neighbor in that trailer?
Yes.
Had you ever called the police on that neighbor?
Yes.
Why?
Because he was apparently doing drugs. They had a small child. We were concerned about the safety of the child because we could hear him yelling at his wife, and the child was crying.
Now, on the evening of October 8th, what happened?
The loud music, if you can call it that, it was kind of a booming noise, started. And
what time?
It was about 8:30. It was a
No,
Sunday
it wasn't.
night.
It was 7 o'clock in the evening.
Ms.
The
Berger,
sun wasn't even down
Ms.
yet.
Berger, I'm telling you, you will have a turn.
Okay.
Now, I'm telling you nicely for the second time. The third time, it isn't nice. I want you to trust me on that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We listened to it for a while until we couldn't stand it, and so I called the manager. He wasn't home. I called the owner, and he said he couldn't do anything about it to call the police. So I called the police. They came out in about 10 minutes. The music stopped, and when the police left, she turned the music up twice as loud, so I called the police again. They came right back, and you could hear them arguing with her, and then they left, and she turned the music down. I was getting ready for bed right after that. My husband was in the kitchen, and he heard a man, and well, he has to explain that.
Yeah, there was her boyfriend or some gentleman there was with her. He hollered, "Don't throw that," and I looked out the window, and at the front of her trailer and where my truck was, she threw a liquid. So I put my shirt on, and
You actually saw her?
Yes, ma'am, I sure did. And then I presumed to go on out there after I got my shirt on. He was dragging her back in her trailer. She was screaming, cussing, we're going to kill them people and all kind of noise. So I looked around, and it was kind of a wet after, you know, the dew was already out. So I had a flashlight. I looked. I didn't see no dead places. I did see a little extra liquid, and I was scared she was going to come back out with a gun or a knife. So I returned into the trailer and locked the doors. And the next morning we discovered the damage. It was done, ate up the paint and everything. So we called the sheriff department, and he returned and made an investigation, and he tried to arrest her then, but she was hid in her trailer and wouldn't open it. So it was a misdemeanor. They couldn't break in. So they turned it over to the detectives, and the detectives later on, they charged her, the DA's office charged her, and then she had prior warrants. So when they picked her up, they put her in jail, and she had prior warrants, and she stayed there for quite some time due to the prior warrants. And that we have the police reports and all to verify it. And the pictures of the damage. And
I'd like to see pictures of the damage, and I'd like to see the estimates to have them repaired.
yes, ma'am. Also, our car, my wife's new car was sitting there, and this happened on the 8th. And between the 9th, that's when the police come out and did the estimate on the damage and looked at everything and tried to arrest her. Between the 9th and the 10th, somebody hit my car on the turtle shell with a broomstick, and that's what those other pictures are about. And we presumed it was her. We didn't have the enemy in the place, so. When she got out of jail, we left immediately that day. We had our stuff moved that day as fast as we could. We just couldn't take
How'd you know I
another
was
chance.
getting out of jail?
Shh. What year is this truck?
The truck is a 1988, but it's a showpiece. I probably got over $20,000 in just putting it back into original condition. It's a dually, black dually. It's a showpiece, honestly.
Was a showpiece.
Was. It's got 16 coats of black lacquer paint on it. And believe it or not, it was over $3,000 when I had the truck painted, from original paint to the show class finish on the truck.
Yeah, well, they have an estimate to refinish, not any body work, but just to refinish it, $2,006.
There's nothing dented. It's just everything there. All the plastic and chrome's got to be replaced, and then the paint.
Okay. All right, Miss Berger, you recall the evening of the 8th of October?
Yes, I do.
All right. Is this the person with whom
He's
you were
my
living?
witness. He's to attest to a couple of statements made by the plaintiff.
Is he the person who was living with you at the time?
No, he's not.
Was he the person there at the time?
He lives across the street, yes. Okay. He's a mutual friend of theirs.
Okay.
And of mine.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear.
I was not anywhere near his truck.
Let's start out with the music. How
With the
many times
music.
did the police come out that evening?
Once.
Once or twice?
Twice.
That's
okay, it was like 7:30 in the...
Just a second. So the police came twice?
Yes.
They came the first time and told you to turn the music down?
Yes.
How much later did they come a second time?
Maybe a half hour, 45 minutes later.
Do you have a police report from Deputy
Yes, I do.
Conte? May I
Yes,
have
you
it,
do.
please?
And I have the detective's...
Just give me the report. I'm a good reader. When the police came out for the second time, were you, in fact, told to turn the music down again?
Yes, and it was turned off.
The second time the police officer arrived at your home, Miss Berger, was it the same police officer who had arrived there the first time?
Yes.
And did you have a conversation with the officer the second time?
I believe so. I believe that he just asked me to turn off the stereo, and I turned it
No,
off.
he didn't. He came out the first time and told you to turn down the music.
Right.
When he had to come back the second time, he didn't tell you, would you please turn down the music again? You had a different kind of conversation with him.
This I do not recall.
Why would you not recall such a thing?
Because I've been through a lot of emotional stress due to this whole situation. I do not remember that night. I went to jail for something I didn't, falsely was accused.
Just a second. Anybody who is arrested for something remembers, unless there is a long history of arrest, which we'll get to in a minute, as to why you were incarcerated for such a long time on this kind of a complaint. So you do not recall what the officer said to you the second time he was forced to come back to your location?
Basically, he told me to turn it down, or he was going to turn it off for me, basically, what it boiled down
so
to.
he was a little more annoyed this time.
Right.
That's better. So you turned it off, and according to your complaint, you did nothing.
No, I did not do anything. I went to sleep. I went right to bed.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Drina and Jerome Kimball say neighbor Linda Berger dumped acid on their truck. Linda denies the charge and is countersuing the Kimballs for filing false charges.
Okay. Now, there did come a time you were taken into custody. How much after this incident were you taken into custody?
A week or two, perhaps.
And when you were taken into custody, did you have a series of outstanding warrants?
I had one warrant for driving on suspended license. That had been dismissed. I tried to get an OR on this vandalism charge. The OR was not granted. I had to stay in jail. I had to file for bail in order for me to be released.
Right.
The driving on suspended, I had time served, but they were not going to release me because I still had this vandalism charge outstanding. I had to bail out.
So my question to you is, the initial reason why you were detained was because you had an outstanding warrant.
There was two warrants. One was issued for vandalism, for the one that he had issued against me, and then there was the one for driving on a suspended license.
When was the warrant issued for driving on a suspended license?
A week before.
When were you supposed to appear in court?
For the driving on suspended?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the court date.
Was it 6 months before, 3 months before?
A week before. It was probably about a week or two before I was arrested for the vandalism.
Why didn't you appear in court?
I do not remember the reason now. And it's been months.
Well, Miss Berger, how many times have you been arrested?
2 or 3 different times. Traffic violations.
Have you ever been arrested for driving while under the influence of alcohol?
Yes.
When was the last time you were arrested for a DWI?
3 years ago.
Is that when your license was suspended?
Yes.
How long have you been driving with a suspended license?
I no longer drive.
How long had you been driving with a suspended license?
Maybe 5 months.
Why had you not gone to get a driver's license?
Because it was suspended. It was revoked by the judge. There's no way I could have gotten one.
Well, suspended 3 years ago. This is not a life sentence. If it's suspended for 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, unless your license was permanently revoked.
Well, I had to complete an AB 541 program.
Did you do that?
Yes. I just now completed it.
But you had not completed it prior.
Right.
Okay, so you were told 2 or 3 years ago that you could, in fact, get your license reinstated if you completed a program for alcohol abuse and driving. You chose not to do that, but just to go back and drive without it. Am I correct?
Right.
All right, so the judge got irritated and issued a warrant for your arrest. That warrant was the warrant that fell on you at the time you were taken into custody on their complaint. We have that in order?
No, because I was still
do.
going to stay in custody no matter what. But the vandalism charge was going to stick. I was trying to get an OR. They would not release
Ms.
me. I had to
Berger,
bail out on it.
I want you to listen carefully to what I said.
Okay.
You were taken into custody on their complaint.
Correct.
And at the time you were taken into custody on their complaint, the outstanding warrant fell.
Correct. Okay.
Right. We understand that?
I understand.
Did there ever come a time, Miss Berger, prior to the time that you were taken into custody on the warrant, that the police came to your residence and you heard and saw him knock at the door and refused to open the door?
No.
That never happened?
No.
Mm-hmm. So the officer who made this report and said, we went to Subject Berger's trailer home at the address. We knocked several times, however, she did not answer.
I wasn't home.
That was on the same evening as the incident. You said you just went to sleep.
And I was asleep. I don't remember. You asked the question if I ever not opened up the door for the police.
Yes.
Not knowingly.
Okay. Now, what happened when you were finally brought before the judge in regard to the outstanding warrant that you had for a suspended license?
Time served.
And you had been in jail for 10 days?
Yes.
What happened on this case?
Vandalism charge. I went before the judge and asked for an OR. I was denied. I had to have one of my friends bail me out.
And what happened with that case ultimately?
The case got dismissed.
When?
Monday, this past Tuesday. Sorry, this Monday was a holiday. This Tuesday.
When did you move out?
November 1st, 2000.
Is that why you didn't appear in court?
We didn't receive it until the day after the hearing.
It came through the old address, and we didn't receive it, so there was nowhere to go.
Stand up.
They just fell.
Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Walter Kirby.
All right, Mr. Kirby. Do you know anything about the evening of October 8th?
I only have 2 things about this case I can relate, Your Honor.
Look at me when you're relating both things, sir.
Okay, one is the morning after this happened, I was having a discussion with Jerry here. He was explaining to me what had happened to his truck, and I asked him if he saw her throw that, and he told me no, he hadn't seen her throw it.
That's not right.
And the only other thing I can attest to, Your Honor, is the condition of his truck when he moved out on November 1st. I helped him load his stuff and get ready to leave, and she has pictures here of the truck at that time, and there was nothing wrong with the truck.
Can I see your photographs, please, Ms. Berger?
Your Honor, they put a solution on it to stop the acids, which made it not near as visible.
Those pictures were taken the day of my release.
Oh, it certainly looks a lot better.
They had a solution on it, an oil solution to stop the acid.
I understand that, but it certainly looks a lot better. I want you to take a look at these photographs.
Yeah.
How did we know when she took those pictures?
I have no idea when this picture
We
was
moved
taken.
out before she got out of jail because we were afraid to stay there. We moved November 1st.
Well, that's a very, very good question.
When the detective told us she was going to be released.
Just a second. Well, I don't know why otherwise she would take pictures of your truck. I mean, why would she take pictures of your truck?
They
You
put a
did take
solution.
these pictures?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. I want you to take a look at these pictures.
I have a whole roll.
The damage was on the other side, and this here it had the solution on it, and they had cleaned the truck, but they had put the solution on it, the oil solution, and it comes right back. It's right now. If you took pictures of it, it would still be right on there.
Still there.
So that's when we was moving out. We hooked up, and it did have the chemical solution on it. Of course, and it, you know, like overnight or something, it comes back to a powder. It looked just like that again.
Okay.
Those pictures were taken the day that they were leaving.
Yeah,
Because
and I never discussed the
there's-
case with this gentleman here at all the next morning or any other morning.
There's pictures with his trailer being hooked up to the truck and them driving away.
No, I understand when they were taken.
Okay.
I don't think that you would take a picture.
He
Okay,
served
sir,
the warrant for her from the small claims court originally.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
I would assume that this gentleman has his own agenda. You still living in the same location, sir?
Yes.
Have you ever visited Miss Berger in her trailer?
I've never been inside her trailer. I've talked to her.
Has she ever
Not
been
right.
inside your home?
No,
No.
that's not right. But
Have a seat. Okay, let's get to the counterclaim first. There is no question in my mind that based upon the defendant's testimony, she was in fact held and, as a matter of fact, incarcerated on an old warrant and agreed to a sentence on that case of time served. So the time that she served may have been precipitated by the arrest on this case, which means that they found you as a result of this case. But when you agreed to plead guilty to time served and your penalty was 10 days in jail, you don't get to sue them for that. Do you understand? That was your debt to society. They don't pay for
Even
that.
if I was in jail a lot longer than 10 days, I was in jail for more like 14.
It doesn't make any difference if what you pled guilty, and then you agreed with your lawyer that the sentence of the court was going to be time served, which means your penalty was the time that you served in jail, whether it was 8 days or 10 days or 14 days or 20 days. That was your penalty. Could have been 60 days. That was your penalty. That's what you just told me. So you don't get $5,000
Wasn't
from
it
them.
up to that point?
Who asked you, Mr. Independent Witness?
Her penalty was up to that point where they said time served. She stayed in jail after that, Your
You
Honor.
can discuss that when you visit her later on. You get me?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Now, let's get to the incident. The only question that I have, sir, is with regard to the damage. I have to take your word for the fact that initially you can shine up this thing and it looks pretty good, but within a day or 24 hours or 48 hours, some of the white powder comes up. There is no way in hell that you're getting $5,000 to repaint this 1988 truck. I want you to forget it. Now, they may be able to simonize it, buff it, repaint one layer, repaint 2 layers, but there's no way that I'm going to order her to pay $5,000 to put on 10 coats of paint on a 1988 truck. Especially one that doesn't clean up too badly. You have an estimate that says paint, $2,006 for refinishing the truck. That's what I'm ordering. Judgment for the plaintiff, your counterclaim's dismissed. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Parties are
Thank you, Your Honor.
excused. You may. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
You're Mr. Stover.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's April?
My cousin right there.
Could you step up, April, because you're very much involved with this sad tale that I really tried very hard to organize with limited success. But from what I gather, you and your cousin were out for an evening,
Me, my cousin, and my friend Tammy there.
and you were at some sort of a club.
Yes, ma'am.
And these two ladies were also trying to get into the club.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, something happened between April and these two young ladies. They thought she said something untoward to them, or that she smiled and said they couldn't get in and we did. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So after the club was over, you went back to April's house?
Yes.
And when you got to April's house, you found these two ladies there, waiting for her.
Yes, ma'am. I got there first, and they were setting up the street waiting.
Did you have a conversation with them?
When I pulled in the driveway, they pulled down, and yes, I had a conversation with them.
What did you say to them, and what did they say to you?
It was just a casual conversation. They asked me where April was and when she'd be home, and told them that she was on her way. She'd went to go get pizza.
And after April came home, that's when all this fracas started. And your lawsuit, Mr. Stover, says that one of these two young ladies, that's Angela. Which one is Angela?
I am.
That Angela broke the window on your car with her shoe.
Yes.
She acknowledges that she did that. She says she was defending herself, she was aiming for you, and you ducked. That's your defense.
Well, yes.
That's what I read here. You also claim that Jessica, that's you,
Yes, ma'am.
had you arrested for assault, as a result of which you had lost earnings, you drive a cab, couldn't drive for 4 months,
Yes, ma'am. It was a malicious wounding, which was a felony. You know.
and those charges were ultimately dismissed.
The first charges were, then they appealed it to a higher charge, aggravated malicious wounding, which it was a worse 20 years to life.
And was that also dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
After a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was a full trial?
There was a full trial.
Where you testified and she testified?
Yes.
So you are suing Jessica for having you falsely arrested and loss of income. She is counterclaiming because she says that you assaulted her with some sort of a machine that takes credit cards, imprints.
Yes, ma'am. I have that with me.
You acknowledge that you did, in fact, hit her with that.
Yes, ma'am. It's self-defense.
Okay, so that's what the case is about. So let's get back to the girls are there waiting for April. April has her pizza and comes back to the house. Okay? What is the very next thing that happened? You want to tell me, April?
Jessica called me over to her car. So I walked over to her car. And
You had known her from before that evening?
Yeah. As far as I knew, we were friends. We had talked every time we'd seen each other out. We had talked to each other.
Okay. So she called you over to her car?
Yes. I walked over to her car, asked her what was going on. As soon as I did that, she reached out, grabbed me by the back of my hair, twisted me, and had me upside down in her car. The top of my head was in her lap.
Okay. Then what happened?
I asked her what was going on. She said I was talking or dancing with her boyfriend, which was not true. We were there maybe 10 minutes at that club.
She still got you in the car?
She has me in this underneath with my head.
So you're talking?
Yeah, I was trying to talk nice and calm to her, and I thought we were friends at that time,
Okay, well, clearly at that time she didn't want to be your friend.
Evidently not.
So what happened?
I just kept asking her why she was doing it, and I yelled for Steve. I was like, Steve, come over here and tell her what we did. So Steve eventually comes over.
And what happened, Steve, when you walked over?
Well, when she first hollered for me, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize the seriousness of it. And then I eventually went over there and seen what was going on. And we both were trying to reason with Jessica. We told her whatever we did, if we laughed at you, we were sorry. And that's when Angie got out of the other side.
Who was driving?
Angie.
Go ahead.
And she got out, and when she come out, she had a lock blade knife, and she brandished it to Brad and myself. And it pretty much scared us right bad. Then she got back in the driver's side, and as far as I could see, she folded the knife up and put it in the middle console. So that's when I was worried for her, because the way her head was in the car, you know, I was...
Her head was still in the car?
Yes, her head was still in... I was thinking the worst, you know, she could have got cut or anything. So I did what I had to do. I beat down on Jessica's arms and got April's hair loose. And she fell back onto the ground. Then they got mad because I'd got her loose. They chased me to my truck. Jessica was first chasing me, and I was running to my truck trying to get to the phone so I could call the police. And I didn't know who had the knife at the time. So I used to work for a frozen food company selling frozen food, so I had a credit card machine. And I grabbed the first thing I could out of my truck, and I've got the credit card machine here if you'd like to see it.
I would.
Okay. This is the credit.
Gotcha.
That's the credit card machine. I grabbed it out of the truck. I swung it around just wildly, not knowing, just trying to protect myself because I thought she had the knife with her. I didn't know who had the knife. That's when she got flattened on the ground, and then
Who got flattened?
Jessica knocked her down.
Got flattened.
I got into the truck, and Angie was still on her way to the truck. I locked the door. I was on the phone with the state police, and that's when she took this shoe and smashed the side window out of my truck. It shattered it. And it's like they ran off. They said they were going to get reinforcements. I was on the phone with the state police. They were connecting me with the Roanoke City police.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I got hit as soon as I stepped in the grass.
Why did you step in the grass for? Why didn't you stay in the car?
I got out to check on her. That my fault.
Caused your broken face. That sometimes happens to bullies. Bullies sometimes get the short end of the stick.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve Stover says he was acting in self-defense when he hit Jessica Shibley in the face with a credit card machine. He claims that Jessica had him falsely prosecuted. Jessica is countersuing for her injuries.
Now, as a result of this, Jessica, you suffered some very serious injury.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you suffered this serious injury, you were right near his truck.
Actually, I just stepped out of the car.
You were right near his truck?
Well, about a car length away, yes, ma'am.
Well, let's go back a little bit. What were you two ladies doing going to her house?
We did go to her house.
For what?
To question her about what had happened at the bar. We were not even in the bar.
What do you mean question her?
Well,
what does that mean, question her?
They had made some comments that upset me, so I went to
What
ask
kind
them
of
about
comments?
it. Something about us not being able to get in. They thought that was really funny.
So they laughed at you?
Yes, ma'am.
That you couldn't get into the club and they did?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you went to question them about?
Yes, ma'am.
Where had you been before that evening?
We had just been out and about.
What do you mean out and about? What does that mean, out and
We
about?
had been downtown. In
Downtown
our
where?
Local places where we live, downtown Roanoke. Some different nightclubs and things down there.
All right, so you'd been to some clubs that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
How many clubs had you been to that evening?
We just rode, we didn't even go in one downtown. We had stopped at a little place on Williamson Road before we proceeded to go to the one they were at.
Okay. So then you go to April's house to discuss with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Her laughing at you.
Yes, ma'am.
And who grabbed her in a headlock?
She wasn't in a headlock.
Who grabbed her in a headlock and grabbed her
by
hair?
the back of the hair after she stuck her head in the car.
She stuck her head in the car
Yes,
to talk to you.
When she come to the car, she stuck her head in the car.
And what did she say?
She basically asked me what I wanted, and that's when I
Okay,
did grab
so
her
she-
by the back of the head.
You grabbed her by the back of the hair. If you're sitting in the car and grabbed her by the back of the hair, then her head's in the car.
Yes, ma'am.
You have no right to do that.
You're right.
That started all the trouble.
Yeah.
Ended up you got your face bashed in.
Yes, ma'am.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You think you deserve to get paid for that?
I don't deserve to have to pay him.
Why not?
I never laid a hand on him.
You started it. Julie, you started it. You want to show me the picture so that I can see just how dumb you are? That's pretty dumb. You had your cheekbone fractured?
Broken.
Broken.
My eyesight.
Fractured means broken.
Oh, yeah.
Broken. Ah. You had surgery?
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty bad. What kind of knife was there?
There was no.
Don't tell me there was no knife. I don't want to hear there was no knife. Do you understand? I don't want to hear there was no knife. Now, it could have been a little knife. It could have been one of those little red knives. What do they call those? Swiss Army knives. You know.
I never held a knife. I never seen a knife.
Yeah.
And that is after my surgery. The police would not release the other pictures before the thing.
Oh, I'm sure they were terrible.
Yes.
Who do you have to blame for that?
Steve?
No! You! He was protecting his cousin.
His cousin was in the house when I had gotten hit. Angela was out of
Just
the
a
car.
minute. If her cousin was in the house,
After
and you had
this
come
happened-
to speak, listen to me. If she had run into the house because her head got loose, right? And you had finished your conversation with her,
Yes, ma'am.
what were you doing out of the car?
Because as I looked over to leave Angela, she was gone out of the car. I stepped out of the car to check on her, and that's
What do you
when I
mean
got-
check on her? What was she doing out of the car?
I have no idea. All I know, as it was going on, they were yelling about guns and everything. So I look over and she's gone. I get out to make sure she's okay, and that's when I got hit. No one chased anyone. I got hit as soon as I stepped in the grass.
Why
My
did you
blood
step
was-
in the grass for? Why didn't you stay in the car?
I got out to check on her. That's my
That
fault for
cost
being
you a broken
afraid.
face. You started this trouble. I believe him when he says that there was a knife in the console of the car, that he had seen it. Oh, I believe that. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Whatever bills you had for your face, take care of them. You went over there to cause trouble that evening. There's no question in my mind that you did. And you got it. You got more trouble than you bargained for. Well, that sometimes happens to bullies. Bullies sometimes get the short end of the stick.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I didn't smash his window in. I threw my shoe.
You told me in your answer, madam, that you were aiming for him.
No, I threw my shoe at him and it hit
Right. What word didn't you understand that I said?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve Stover is suing Angela Morton and Jessica Shibley for having him falsely prosecuted and for smashing his windshield.
So the police were called, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When were you stopped?
The police never come to us. We went up the street, which my mother lives 3 houses up the street from this. We went to another friend's house, and she called the ambulance. The ambulance come, the police come. I went straight to emergency room.
And what'd you break his window for?
I broke his window because he was trying to leave and she was laying on the ground and I was scared, so I just threw my shoe. I wasn't running up to his truck and I didn't smash his window in. I threw my shoe.
You told me in your answer, madam, that you were aiming for him.
No, I threw my shoe at him and it hit
Right.
his
That's what you
truck.
said. What word didn't you understand that I said? You said in your answer, I was aiming for him, and he ducked, and I hit the window.
Yes.
Why?
Because she was laying on the ground. I didn't know what he was going back in his truck to get, if he was going to hit me.
What were you doing out of your car?
I was out of my car because they were screaming stuff. I didn't want them to run up on me and hit me.
They weren't running anywhere. She was in the house, according to your friend, and he had walked away. So what did you get out of your car for?
I got out of my car because him and Brad were hollering stuff.
And you didn't like that they were hollering stuff. You have
No, I didn't know
you
what
ever
they
hear
were going to
sticks
do.
and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me?
I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't want to be
What,
sitting
well,
in the
if you
car
don't know what
anymore.
they're going to do, madam, then you get in your car and you go away. You don't get out of your car to confront them, especially when you've been the aggressor. You don't get out of your car. You stay in your car. And you go to her mother's house, which is 3 houses away. So you were arrested.
Yes, ma'am. And I was running. After I got my cousin loose, we all scattered, and we were running to get away from the trouble. They chased me to the truck.
I believe that they chased you to the truck. Oh, I believe that they chased you to the truck. So you were, in fact, arrested.
Yes, I was.
How long were you incarcerated?
I explained the story, what happened to the magistrate at the time, and he let me out on my own recognizance.
Now, why do you say you lost earnings?
Okay, originally, the first charge, when it was dismissed, they brought up new charges and made it aggravated malicious wounding, and it was a felony. And the city of Roanoke will not allow you, even though I hadn't been convicted, they will not allow me to have my cab license.
Now, let me ask you this question. How many witnesses testified at the criminal trial?
Myself, April, Tammy, and Brad.
Tammy, you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up here, please. Do you know these 2 young ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see Jessica get hit in the face?
Yes, ma'am. I saw everything.
Saw everything?
Yes, ma'am. I was standing right there when everything happened.
I would like you to tell me how close Jessica was to the truck when she got hit in the face.
She was at the door to the truck because Steve reached in and he turned around and Jessica was there because they both ran past me to get to the truck.
I was standing next to the car when everybody jumped out.
She wasn't a truck length away.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, did you see Steve run to the truck?
I saw Steve run to the truck because April went flying. Steve immediately ran to the truck past me, right next to me. Jessica jumped out of the car, ran past me.
She jumped out of the...
She came barreling out of the car. I mean, she jumped out of the car.
How far did she have to run to get to the truck?
About a car and a half length.
But she was right behind him?
She was right behind him.
And where was Angela at this time?
Angela was on the other side of the car, and she jumped out of the car at the same time Jessica did.
Did she run up behind Jessica?
She was at the door as soon as Steve hit Jessica. Steve jumped in the car, locked the window. Angela was right there at the truck and smashed the window.
I have all the receipts also for a rental car.
No, I don't need anything. You're suing the defendants, both defendants, for $5,000. You're claiming that as a result of their actions, you were arrested, you had to go through 2 trials. Were you given a public defender, or did you have to hire a lawyer?
I got a public defender.
And you went through how many days of trial?
The latter half of the trial lasted from about 12:30 in the afternoon to 6 in the evening, and then it was held over. The judge said he would make his decision. He was going to read over all the paperwork, and I had to come back the 26th.
How many witnesses did you have at the trial?
1. Just 1.
Evidently the judge didn't believe you. Me neither. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused and they step out versus McCullough. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated and have a seat, please.
Ms. Dantzler, you, according to your complaint, met the defendant through a dating service.
Yes.
That was sometime in the beginning of May of this year?
Yes.
And while on a sort of date, I guess, at your house, also in May.
Yes.
You claim that he, after some sort of a disturbance, destroyed your apartment.
Exactly.
So first tell me, what was he doing at your apartment?
Well, first, the reason why he was at my apartment was we had spent the day on doing personal items for himself. The defendant explained to me that he was totally blind and that he was looking for a companion, basically to help him do some of his banking, shopping. So
he wasn't interested in a date, he was interested in a caretaker.
Right, and that was one thing that he explained to me in the beginning, and I explained to him also in the beginning that I was going to be leaving Texas to return to California permanently, so I would try to assist you as much as I can.
Why would you do that? Was he going to pay you for this work?
No, I call myself being a good Samaritan, to try to help him out. I know, knuckleheaded me, you know.
Did you sign up for this dating service?
No, it's something that is offered free for women, but the men has to pay for the service. You leave a voicemail with a description on yourself, and they'll call and leave you a message.
Okay, and you had to pay for this service, sir?
Yes.
How much did you have to pay? I'm just curious.
This right here, this rate here was $17 for 7 days.
Okay. And you were not looking for a date, you were looking for somebody to sort of help you out with chores and things?
No, this what I was looking for, a companion, just a CNI companion, just to do this here for youth program that I had to testify, because I lost my eyesight 4 years ago. It's a mystery because my car pulled up at my cousin's barbecue restaurant.
No. I just, don't go back so far, please. Just tell me, were you looking for a date, or were you looking for somebody to help you out with your chores?
I was looking for a companion just to help me find a studio to do some gospel mystery,
just
music,
a second. So you will
ministry.
I got it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got together and you did some chores for him that day. What
Right.
day was that? May what?
That was May 19th.
Okay, so you're doing some chores with him.
And the chores were, I took him to the bank, and I assisted him to walk him up to the teller, help him withdraw some money. I went to the grocery store. All the while, I'm leading him around like he's a blind person. And since he was constantly telling me that he was, never eating, I decided to fix dinner, and I fixed dinner for him.
So then you invited him back to your apartment.
Right. And during that course of the time, I was reading over the items that he wanted me to read as far as, the mail that he had received. So in that process, I was beginning to see some things that maybe this person is not as blind as he said, because he actually told me what color shirt I had on. Now, I know the difference between being totally blind and being legally blind. My mother before passing was legally blind, so I know you can see figures, shapes, some shadows. But if you're totally blind, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Okay, so you're reading over his mail and he told you what color shirt you were wearing, and then what happened?
Then when he told me what color shirt I had on, I began to question him actually on how well can he see. And I asked him, I says, well, has the state declared you being legally blind, or did the state declare you being totally blind? Because I know there is a difference. Because if you're legally blind...
Okay. So you, not because. So you asked him that question.
Right.
And what did he say?
He said that he was declared totally blind.
Okay. So, next.
So, after doing dinner, he had a couple of beers, he kind of fell asleep on the couch. And at that time, I told myself, well, you know, it's about time for me to get ready to take you home. So I tapped him on the shoulder because he was ignoring me. So when I tapped him on the shoulder, he pulled me down and he began to touch me inappropriately. And during that time, you know, when he was doing so, I got angry. I walked out of my apartment. I was standing on the patio. I'm like, man, here it goes again. And when I went back in, he was in my room. So when I went in my room, I wanted to do the same thing that he did to me. So I pulled out one of my little play toys and tried to up him like he tried to things up me. So in that process, that's when the fight began. Well, he...
First of all, hold up. She got these 2 weekends combined together.
You'll have your turn. Just wait one moment, sir. Go ahead.
Well, in that process, as I walked out of the room, I slapped him upside the head. You know, and I told him, I want you out of here. I said, even though that I picked you up, I'm going to call you a cab so you can go home, because I don't think you're as blind as you're saying that you are. And he's like, well, go ahead on, you know, call a cab. So I called the cab, and in the process of waiting for the cab, he's saying, well, you know, I ain't no punk. And he tried to pick up my couch and tried to lift it and flip it. So what I did, I pushed it down so to keep him from flipping it. So then he walks over, and this is all without his blind man's cane. Now, he had only been in my apartment twice. Now, for a person that is totally blind, why wasn't he bumping into things? So in the process, he walks over to the TV and flips over the TV. So in the process of when he flips over the TV, I got on the phone with 911 because I wanted him out of here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Yes, could you call the police over here right now? Yes, 911 right now. Could you come over here real quick? Yes, give me the phone. Give me the phone. Please. Hurry up, please.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lillian Dantzler says former friend Michael McCullough trashed her apartment in a fit of rage. Michael says he's blind and he accidentally knocked a few things over.
What happened next?
You know, and when I called 911, all in the process, I'm watching him walk over to the picture that I had on the wall, and I have pictures of my apartment, of how my apartment was before it was destroyed and after it was destroyed.
Let me see them, please.
He trashed it, totally trashed it.
Now, what happened when the police arrived?
When the police arrived, he was standing out on the balcony, hollering and screaming to the neighbors downtown about, yeah, I'm going to tell the police that you were one of the persons that, you know, shot me in my head, you know. And all the while, he was just ranting and raving. And when the police arrived...
Did the police take him into custody?
Yes, he was arrested.
You have a police report?
I sure do.
Can I see it, please?
And to me, as I was watching him destroy it, and there's no way in the world a blind man gonna see speakers that I had on a vaulted ceiling. I watched him jump and pull them down. He pulled down the patio blinds. As he went from the patio blinds, he went to my baker's rack, and I had speakers over my baker's rack. He hopped to pull it down, and when he pulled a picture off a wall, he stepped on it. He flipped my coffee table, and as he trashed the living room, he went right on over to the dining room. When he went to the dining room, he flipped over the glass top that was on the table, and on that table I had a box of crystal items that I was getting ready to pack on that table. So the crystal items that were in that box was totally shattered, and I watched this individual take a chair, Your Honor, and throw it at my mirror. the mirror that was sitting behind the the dining table. Now, if you're totally blind, how are you going to know that there is a mirror that's up on the wall behind the dining table?
What happens to the case in court?
Well, right now it's been dismissed.
Why is that?
Well, from what I understand, when I was there, I was not notified and I didn't show.
What happened to your arrest, sir?
First of all, when the police came and got me, they seen me standing out there and told me to raise my hand up, make sure I didn't have no weapons on me. So they came up there and then came and asked me for an ID. I reached in my pocket and gave my ID. And the first thing they said, we need to identify you. And the reason I got arrested, they came to me and said, where is these warrants that's out for your arrest? These warrants should have been dropped 2 years ago. And I went to jail and stayed there 5 days and went to the court for arraignment. They came to me and said, well, this is a criminal mischief. You'll be from $2,000 up to $22,000 bond. They gave me $2,000 bond. Then the arraignment judge pushed that to the side and then had to pay a dime on that bond to get out of jail.
What happened to this case, this criminal mischief case?
I went to court and sitting there, and like I said, she didn't even show up. And they just came and told me, Mr. McCullough, and said a few things. The only thing I know, he said it was dismissed. And I just stood up and just thanked my Father God for his goodness for what I had to go through all
When
this
was
long
when was it dismissed, sir?
August 18th, last month.
Now, Miss Danzler has told me her version of the events. Clearly, you destroyed her apartment. I mean, I have photographs, sir. You don't deny that you destroyed her apartment. Is that right?
Now, hold up. Let me get this organized here. First of all...
No, answer my question. You don't deny that you destroyed her apartment. Is that right? You couldn't give me the reason.
I did not destroy that apartment.
All right, so tell me what you didn't do.
What's he talking about? Throwing chairs. How can, if I'm blind and I can't see and stuff, throw a chair up against a mirror?
And that is...
And the first, let me start how all this started while I left out that room. Because first of all, she came and got me out that car for sitting there listening to the video, walked me in the room, and first thing she said was, Michael, you want to get some of these crystal pills, talking about using some drugs, and had the ecstasy pills laying on the table, and she trying to get me to use, so I denied that. Then I heard
so she tried to get you, she asked you if you want,
ecstasy,
Mr. McCullough, she asked you if you wanted to use drugs, you said no.
Yes.
Next, what happened next?
Next, I heard a no. I said, what's that? She said, this is Leroy. I said, who is Leroy? Talking about a vibrator. And then it vibrated, then I'm like, oh my goodness. And she touched me on my leg with it, on my pants leg. And I'm like, Bonnie, what's up with this?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She can't touch this, touch this. I said, what? She said, feel it, feel it. I felt something right in front of my chest. I stuck my hand down and she had a top full of marijuana. She trying to get to deceive me and tempt me to smoke this weed.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lillian Dantzler says Michael McCullough lied to her about being blind and then made sexual advances. She says when she turned him down, he trashed her apartment.
What happened next?
Then I felt her hand around my back. And then I just denied that, told her just get on and leave me alone. So then, right after that, Your Honor, she said, Michael, do you want to go on the balcony and smoke a joint? And then I said, I just let her out, and then she just left. And then, Your Honor, she can't touch this, touch this. I said, what? She said, feel it, feel it. I felt something right in front of my chest. I stuck my hand down, and she had a top full of marijuana, and my index finger went 2/3 off of this weed, and I stood up. And she trying to get to deceive me and tempt me to smoke this weed. And then she come handing me my wallet, telling me I'm finna call her taxi. And how did she get my wallet? So evidently she got my wallet out my pants by that vibrator, to get on my pants leg and sticking her hand in my pocket. And then, and she told me, Michael, I'm gonna call 911. I said, call him. And I said, give me that phone. And that's when I stepped, my left leg hit that table. My left leg hit that table. I extended my arm and it hit that picture shifted. My arm went down, I felt the wire. And then when I went down, I heard the speakers, they was on, but when I hit that wire, they shut down. And then I know where I was at, and I moved to the right, and I balanced myself on the couch. And that's when I reached down and grabbed my cane and extended it. Because when I came to her house, that's when I first walked the door, that's where that couch was. So I went around there to the edge, positioned myself, and walked straight out that door. Within 5 minutes, how can I lift up couches, throw chairs and mirrors? And I was out there in 5 minutes because she was trying to get me to use drugs and to get these drug dealers to come out there and tempt me. Well, like I said, I lost my eyesight. Somebody shot me point blank in the head, and the doctors told the police and my family it was close range. The oxygen in my brain is gone. The bullet is still in my brain now. It hit my optic nerve, and they said in 4 to 6 hours, and I'll be dead. And they turned the life support machine off. And I was sitting there. The suspect never been found.
Okay,
the police kept my car for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Found no evidence I got shot in that car.
Okay.
And that's what's going to have me go back and search to that street life who shot me. That's
Okay,
why I'm trying to get out of
Mr.
there.
McCullough.
God got everything under control.
Okay. You have a tape there that you want me to
Honey,
hear?
I have the 911 tape where you can hear him exactly trashing it.
Okay, let me hear it.
Yes, could you call the police? The police over here right now, because this guy's over here. He acts like he's lying. He's over here tearing up my stuff out of the house. Okay, could you come over here real quick? Right now. He's tearing up everything out of my apartment. Let me give me the phone. Give me the phone. Please. Please let him get him out of here. Hurry up, please. He's tearing up everything in here.
And you can hear him tear.
He's tearing up everything. He's black. He's about 6'3". Please hurry up. Okay. He just trashed up everything. He's tearing up everything in my bedroom. He's tearing up everything. Why is he mad at you, man? Because I wouldn't have sex with him. He done tore up everything in my apartment. And I want him arrested.
I think that speaks for itself, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. McCullough?
Yes, on that tape, what was I saying? Give me that phone, because I made the decision to call 911 to get the police to come take me home. And if there was that much damage done at the apartment, why the police didn't tell me when they didn't read me no rights or nothing when they arrested me? They said the reason they were taking me downtown was causing them Fort Worth traffic tickets. And I would have told the police to find that marijuana print,
Mr.
and I would have
McCullough.
told them where my fingerprint was at.
Mr. McCullough, pay careful attention to me. They weren't taking you downtown because of outstanding warrants. The reason that you were arrested that evening, sir, is because you had, in fact, trashed her apartment. All these other warrants didn't become known to the police until after you got to the police station. Do you understand me?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I got, It was right there at that place. They said the 5 traffic tickets right there on the spot. As soon as they got my ID, it wasn't there at the arraignment as a judge. It was before I even went to jail. They told me what I was going down for.
Well, were they your warrants on the ticket, sir?
Yes, back in March 95 and 96.
They were. So how come you didn't pay those tickets?
Because 6 months later, after June 96, that's when somebody shot me in the head. And that's
Well,
when
but
they
you
went
still
to
owe
war.
on the tickets, sir.
I know.
So what'd you wait 6 months for to pay the tickets? You knew there were warrants outstanding for you, if I believe you.
I didn't know they were warrants then, because I didn't know warrants until it was in the hospital. The police told my family they went to warrant. They didn't send
All right,
them to my
Mr.
house.
Dantzler, there is no question in my mind that Mr. McCullough, despite the fact that some strange things went on in your apartment, that Mr. McCullough damaged your apartment to the extent that I've seen in the photographs. There is also no question in my mind, madam, that the original invoice that you gave to the police, which is clearly detailed, does not rise to the $5,000 that you're suing Mr. McCullough, that you are suing Mr. McCullough for. You gave the police a complete detail, including miscellaneous items that you have in the last section, you know, miscellaneous small things, and that comes to $2,454. I am entering a judgment in your behalf in that amount. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Of Lyle versus Rodriguez.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Lyle, it is your complaint that the defendant, who was a tenant of yours, assaulted you. You want your medical bills paid. You want damages for pain and suffering. Mr. Rodriguez says that you precipitated this altercation and that you tried to have him evicted, and you had no basis for that. What kind of unit do you rent to Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Lyle?
Your Honor, I rent a one-bedroom apartment.
How many units are in the building?
There's 4 units in this building.
When did you lease him the apartment?
I leased the apartment to Mr. Rodriguez on March 12th of this year.
And what's the term of the lease?
It's a 1-year lease, Your Honor.
Would you tell me the date of this altercation?
The altercation was on March 26th.
Tell me what happened.
On March 26th, I responded to Mr. Rodriguez's apartment where there had been a plumbing problem.
Is that correct so far? You had a plumbing problem on March 26th.
Yes, that I...
The answer is either yes or no. You had a plumbing problem.
Yes, I did.
And you reported the plumbing problem.
To the apartment manager.
And did the apartment manager see to it that a plumber arrived at your premises? Were you present when the plumber arrived?
Yes, and those are the only two people that
Just answer my question.
Okay.
You were present when the property manager arrived with the plumber?
Yes.
Okay, now continue, Mr. Lyle.
I responded
on the 26th.
To the apartment.
Okay.
Responding to the apartment, I observed, yes, there was a plumbing problem. And while I was standing there, I observed over in the front room area on a coffee table what appeared to me to be a bag of narcotics.
What kind of narcotics?
I believed it was marijuana.
Okay, so you saw a bag of marijuana on a table.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I walked over, seized the bag.
Why?
Because it was marijuana, and I didn't allow marijuana in my apartment complex.
You can't do that, Mr. Lyle. You understand that you can't do that. You have no right to take any property out of his apartment. You may have the right to call the police and say, I see something in plain view, but you have no right to take any property out of his apartment. Similarly, if you walked into his apartment and you saw a gun or a rifle, you couldn't take that because he may have had a license for the gun. You have no right to take property. You can report it to the police, but you cannot resort to self-help.
Okay.
Okay, so you took the bag of marijuana, the suspected marijuana, which turned out to be marijuana, correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you do with it?
I picked it up and was holding it in my left hand and was standing in a doorway. Just kind of had the bag of narcotics or marijuana in my left hand and had my right hand just bracing myself very leisurely, casually in the doorway like this. And shortly thereafter, Mr. Rodriguez and a friend of his came in the apartment. He started screaming and yelling at me that I was not allowed to be in his apartment. What are you doing here? At that time, I said to him, Christopher, you know, prior to you moving in, we had a conversation where I told you I didn't rent to anybody that smoked marijuana, had anything to do with drugs. You advised me at that time you had nothing to do with narcotics. You didn't smoke marijuana. And I said, listen, you know, I've had numerous complaints from my other tenants that you smoking dope, the smell of marijuana emitted throughout the building. You were causing nothing but problems in the building. At that time, he kept inching closer and closer to me, and I was very surprised he attacked me.
How did he attack you?
He just, what's the word I can use, bull rushed me, charged me. He drove me back about 10 feet into a refrigerator. And as he drove me back, he kind of turned me to the left a little, or to the right a little bit. And I either hit the refrigerator handle or the side of the refrigerator door. And I bounced off the refrigerator door, came back at him, landed on top of him, and I started yelling for my plumber, Kim, and my property manager, who was also in the building at that time, to come on out and help me. And he was able to grab the marijuana back from me, and I yelled at Kim and my property manager to get the marijuana away from them, and they did. And I said, look, I said, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to file a police report. So I took the bag of marijuana, left the location, went down and got in my car, backed it out of the parking spot.
Where's the marijuana at this time?
At that time, it's sitting on my passenger seat.
All right, so you were stealing his property. That time you were stealing his property.
I guess I was stealing his property, Your Honor.
You were, Mr. Lyle, because I read Mr. Rodriguez's answer, and unless you are prepared to contradict that, Mr. Rodriguez says that he has a prescription for medical marijuana. That's what he says, and I assume that he's prepared to prove that to me today.
Yes.
So if he has a prescription for medical marijuana, even if he didn't have a prescription, you couldn't take it. But if he did have it lawfully, you were stealing property that he had in his lawful possession. And not only that, but you got your plumber to help you.
I guess, Your Honor, we're just a couple of bad citizens.
No, you're not a bad citizen, Mr. Lyle. You're here in a court of law. Now, Mr. Rodriguez retrieved his bag of marijuana from your car, because I read your complaint and I read his answer. So far, is that correct?
It's correct.
Did you? That's all I'm asking.
It wasn't a bag.
Whatever it was.
And plus, it wasn't on my
Just
coffee.
a second.
Okay.
I didn't get to you yet.
Okay, no problem.
Just answer my questions.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Lyle claims his tenant, Christopher Rodriguez, assaulted him during an argument. Christopher is countersuing for harassment.
Now, Mr. Lyle, we're here in a court of law, and you're asking me to make a judgment on whether or not Mr. Rodriguez had the right to prevent you from leaving his home with his property and to exert any force to do that. That's what you're asking me to decide.
At that time, I had not told him that I was going to leave the apartment with his property.
You had it in your hand, sir. And you, in fact, not only did leave with it, but you had managed to get it out of your hand, and you importuned two people to get it back, which suggests to me that you were intending to leave with it. So let's not play with each other, and I want you to understand something. I am very sympathetic from the perspective of a citizen, not a judge, but a citizen, that you have a 4-unit apartment complex, and I don't know whether you had complaints or not, but if Mr. Rodriguez has a prescription for medical marijuana and he smokes it in his apartment, and he may have other people that come over who have similar prescriptions. That smoke in his apartment, that smell wafts all over a 4-unit apartment complex, and there might be people, I would be one of them, who would be incensed at that. I want you to understand that. So don't give me that I'm just a bad citizen.
I understand
according
that,
to you.
Your Honor.
This is a legal place, and if Mr. Rodriguez can establish to me that he had a prescription for this, and of course he's going to tell me why he has a prescription for it, right?
Yes.
Then he had the right to stop you from stealing his property. and if he pushed you into the refrigerator, that's what he did to get his property back. And you called 2 other people to get the marijuana back from him. All very bad judgment, Mr. Lyle, on your part. Because if you're a landlord, if you have a tenant who's violating any conditions of the lease, you take him to court to have him evicted, which I assume you did.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And that was denied.
Yes, it was, Your Honor.
Well, that's unfortunate. So now, that's unfortunate for you, but that's what the law is.
Yes.
All right.
You know, Your Honor, someplace, somewhere down the road of justice, somebody's got to hold this guy responsible for something. I've got a 4-unit building that he and his posse are holding hostage.
Yeah. Mr. Lyle, hey. Mr. Rodriguez, look
Excuse
at me.
me, Your Honor, excuse me.
Look at me.
Yes.
You understand that I have a certain sympathetic ear towards what he's telling me.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I would like to be able to pick up the phone and call the other 3 tenants that are in the building and find out if any of them have complained to him because of the smell of your marijuana. It's not particularly relevant, but it bothers him that that kind of activity is going on in your home. He should have been more careful about who he rented to. Now, how long have you had a prescription for medical marijuana?
I've had it since 2 years ago, but my new one is 1/30/09. That's the date of this statement. Because
I'd like to see it, please.
I got an accident when I was a kid, and so I kind of have a little neck injury. So, because my head kind of went through the windshield when I was like out of high school.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm in sales. I'm a sales representative.
How old are you, Mr. Rodriguez?
38.
And when was this accident that you had?
There was 2, one in 91 and 92, where my head went through the windshield and I basically was like dead on arrival. So I've had like a...
Don't tell me what you have, Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay. Well, I have a neck injury.
I heard you had a neck injury twice.
Okay. And then I got prescribed to be on like anti-inflammatory medication, but I don't really like to pop pills, you know, because I'm an athlete, I'm a surfer. So I don't really like how it feels.
You're a surfer?
Yes.
Oh. Give this back to him. Mr. Lyle, I understand your frustration with him. I got it. This serious life-threatening condition that he has is, in my judgment, and I'm not a medical professional, but for somebody who surfs as a hobby.
Yeah.
It was moving around. It would seem to me you wouldn't do that if you had a serious neck condition that requires you to take prescribed cannabis.
Cannabis.
Cannabis. Yes. Whatever it is. Marijuana. Instead of taking an anti-inflammatory that might help you. So I want you to understand, Mr. Lyle, I have zero sympathy for him because I do believe that there are some people who have really serious medical conditions that can benefit during a course of serious treatment from the use of medical marijuana. Yeah. And then there are those people that abuse it. And there are those people that abuse it by prescribing it to people who abuse it. Yeah. And that's the problem. I'm speaking.
Okay.
Now, if your hobby is playing the piano or playing the violin, I might have a little more sympathy. But if your hobby of choice at age 38 with a serious neck injury is surfing, my sympathy level for you is about 0. You got where I'm coming from, Mr. Rodriguez.
I understand.
Mr. Lyle, unfortunately, I have to dismiss your case, just as the housing court judge dismissed your case, and probably with equal frustration, at least I hope, because you couldn't do what you did. And Mr. Rodriguez had a right to retrieve his property and use lawful means to do that. I mean, he couldn't take a knife out and stab you to get his marijuana back or take out a gun and shoot you. But he had a right to try to get his property back, which he eventually did. Now, Mr. Rodriguez has a counterclaim because he says you've been harassing him. He's been harassing you, Mr. Rodriguez, because he'd like you out of his complex.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Lyle claims his tenant, Christopher Rodriguez, assaulted him during an argument. Christopher is countersuing for harassment.
Mr. Rodriguez, if you were a nice person, you would go find a nice complex where you wouldn't be irritating other people and you wouldn't be irritating the landlord. But you don't have to do that, and he has to suffer with you until March.
He's not having to suffer whatsoever. I'm having to suffer.
Well, you don't have to suffer. There are 2 choices for you not to suffer. Either he sells his apartment building or you move.
Well, there's no...
Just a second. Okay. Those are the 2 choices.
I'm not moving because I've already done
That's right. So you're not moving. So stay there, and if you want to stay there and continue to do what you do, you'll live out the term of your lease, and then he'll get rid of you.
The case is that he lost in court, and he also lied in court, and he continues to lie in court.
Just a second. Listen to me.
Okay.
I don't care whether he rummaged through your closet or if he found the combination to your safe. It's not that I'm finding that because he saw this marijuana in plain sight, he was able to take it. He wouldn't be able to take it if it was hanging from a chandelier in front of his nose. So whether he went in and looked through your closet or whether he saw it on a table, it's irrelevant. He had no right to take it.
Which I understand.
Hey, stop talking, sir.
Okay.
I'm telling you that if he tried to have you evicted because he believed that it was injurious to his property, that was his right. That's what a court is for. And if the judge in housing court wanted to impose some sort of punitive costs on him, I assume that the judge would have done that. I have no intention of doing that for you in this case. So take your sore neck.
Well, I haven't even got to explain my side of the story.
Just a second. I told him he was wrong. I'm dismissing his case. Why do you have to explain your story?
Because you're already judging me before you...
Just a second. Okay. I'm dismissing his case against you. You want to say something else, Mr. Rodriguez?
No, I do not, but I...
Very good. That's all. Out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's just not a very good person.
He's been harassing me.
Nobody in the building can stand the guy.
I get along with the neighbors.
He's a druggie.
I barely do it every once in a while.
He just won't leave.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Green versus Trotter. Step forward.
Valerie Green is suing her son's friend, 18-year-old Jesse Trotter, for breaking a door in her home. Jesse claims that Valerie's daughter is at fault.
Mrs. Green, is this your daughter? Yes. It is your claim that the defendant broke a door in your house. He was there with your daughter and this other young man. You weren't in the room when it happened, so you have no idea what happened. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You. Perfect. Tell me your name.
Mike Numeraki.
Mike, how do you know the defendant?
He was my friend.
And how do you know this young lady?
She's my friend's sister.
Who was over at the Green house that day?
Jesse, Scott, Colleen, and I.
So there was one other person who's not here?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me how the door got broken.
Well, Colleen got home and Colleen, her.
So the three boys were in the house?
Yes.
What room?
We're in the living room.
What were you doing?
Just hanging out.
Is there a television there?
Yeah, there's television.
Was it on?
Yeah.
Try yes. I like it a lot better.
Okay.
Maybe if he could see me, he would be able to speak better. Now, Colleen was coming home.
Yes, ma'am.
So you went and hid behind the door.
Yeah.
What was your intention? To scare her?
Yes.
So what happened when she came in the door?
I grabbed her.
How did you grab her?
I had her hands behind her back.
Show me.
I had her like this, and then Jesse ran into Colleen.
How did he run into her?
He ran at her like a linebacker.
Yeah. And?
And then we smashed through the window of the door.
Okay, sit down. All right, Jesse. He's grabbed her from behind. And what did you do?
Well, I went
No, don't look down.
I went to the other side of the room, acting like I was going to kick her.
Like you were going to kick her?
Yes. And I jumped in front of her, and she put her foot on my knee and pushed off of me, forcing her and Mike through the window.
So whose fault do you think that is?
Colleen's.
Hers?
Yes.
What, are you an idiot? Would the door have gotten broken if you hadn't gone to the other side of the room and pretended like you were going to kick her?
Probably not.
And not only were you on the other side of the room, but in order for her to put her foot up and push off you, you had to have gotten closer to her, right?
Yes.
So you ran closer to her.
Yes.
What was your intention? You were going to try to scare her too, so that she thought you were going to kick her?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was the door?
$412.
You didn't do anything terrible, Mr. Trotter. I mean, everybody was just messing around and being stupid. But your actions caused this door to break. I mean, if he grabbed her from behind, that wasn't going to hurt anybody except her. She may have complained about that. But then what you did was escalate the whole thing by making it appear as if you were going to hurt her.
Yeah.
And if she put her foot up in front of you and pushed off to get you away from her, that's what she should have done.
Yes, ma'am.
You owe Mrs. Green $412 to fix her door. You're lucky nobody was hurt. You got to be smarter. You're a big guy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Easy. Goodbye. Have a happy day.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now this is case number 218 on the calendar in the matter of Gaines. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Gaines, the defendant is your son,
Yes,
and the co-defendant is your daughter-in-law.
right.
And they have 4 children.
Yes, they do.
Your 4 grandchildren.
Right.
According to your complaint, sir, in 1999, because you're a good grandpa, you decided to gift each of your grandchildren $500 and took out certificates of deposit in each of their names for their future.
Right.
And you had a conversation with your daughter-in-law about that?
Yes, I did.
And what did you tell your daughter-in-law?
I told my daughter-in-law that I was going to take out 4 CDs for each one of the grandchildren, and that I wanted to left in the bank, and when each one of them was 18 years old, they could do as they pleased with the money. And I told her that I was going to turn the CDs over to her so that she could reinvest them once every year when they matured. I never gave any permission.
Okay, just a second. So that's what you told her?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you originally opened these CDs, you were the custodian, sir?
Yes, I was.
There came a time when you changed that from you being the custodian to you being a co-custodian?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
did you
I did not turn custodianship over to anybody.
Do you have the paperwork from the bank?
I have 2. The other 2, I guess I throw them away.
Okay, but let me see what you have. Your lawsuit, Mr. Gaines, against the defendants, in particular your daughter-in-law, is that she withdrew the CDs for 3 of the children,
Yes,
and the 2 of them used that money,
yes,
and you want that money back.
I do.
They have a counterclaim because they say that at some point, I assume after they withdrew the 3 of the CDs, you went and withdrew the money out of the one remaining one that they had not used. So their counterclaim is based on the fact that as parents of that one child, you took back that child's gift. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you do not deny that you took out the CDs for 3 of your children.
Not at all.
I'd like to see where you are custodians of the accounts of those 3 children.
Okay, when I went to the bank to sign a signature card, I didn't receive anything in the mail. The manager of the bank said that I had to subpoena the record. She was not cooperative at all.
Okay. So you don't have any proof that you were made the co-custodian, even though, Mr. Gaines, you say that you agreed for her to be the co-custodian.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, at various points, you went to the bank and withdrew this money. Did you withdraw it all at the same time or at different times?
At different times, Your Honor.
Over what period of time?
Over a period of approximately 3 weeks.
All right, let's hear about the first withdrawal.
The first withdrawal, Your Honor, was on May 18th.
And what did you use that money for?
Your Honor, my husband owns his own business. He's self-employed. I am a full-time mother. His business gets slow at times. He's a carpenter. And in the month of May, we fell on hard times and had a car payment due in the amount of $307.10. I need a vehicle for emergencies to drive my children around in. The remainder of the money went. Every Saturday is considered a family day for us. And we
By
take
whom? Is that by federal law?
No, that's by our own morals.
So that's by your own morals that every
Right.
Saturday is family day. Okay,
Correct.
so tell me where the rest of the money went.
It went on an amusement park for our children the following Saturday.
Okay, so that's one. Let's
Correct.
go to the next withdrawal that you made.
That was the following week, May 26th, which was on a Friday. Now, in order for my husband to run his business, he has to advertise, and he had run up a bill for his advertisement for his job amounting over $200.
So?
That went on that. And then the remainder went on Chuck E. Cheese for our children and horse rides at Irvine Regional Park.
Okay, next?
The third and final CD was cashed in on June 5th.
Yes.
Now, our rent was due June 1st. However, there's a 5-day grace period. You have until the 5th. Otherwise, it's considered late. You have to pay a $50 late charge. The rent amounts $910. I had to cash in a CD to pay the rent.
Okay. Mr. Gaines, how long have you been a carpenter?
About 13 years.
So for the past 13 years, what have you done when business is slow?
Well, usually a couple months before we try and save up so that we can prepare for the times where it's going to be slow so that we have some savings.
Good. Now, you were both fully aware of the fact that this money was to be used for your children.
Yes.
that this was, in fact, your children's money.
Yes.
So how dare you use this money to buy him Chuck E. Cheese, take him to an amusement park, make your car payment, or pay your rent? How dare you? You managed for 13 years not to steal your children's money. Maybe they didn't have any money.
May I say something, Your
Sure.
Honor? In that amount of time, we have had help from family members. Mr. Gaines's wife is retired and lives with my husband's sister. She has a pension, and she helps us out when need be,
Why
out
don't
of
you
the
help
goodness
yourselves out?
of her heart.
Why don't you help yourselves out? Get a job. Get a job. If you have 4 children and you can't make it on your husband's salary as a carpenter, get a job. You don't steal money from your children.
No,
Gotta
I have
put away
every
for the-
intention on paying my children back. I feel that I do not owe the plaintiff any money. I
Oh,
owe
yes,
my
you do.
children.
He's the
No,
custodian of the...
He gave these to them as a gift.
Just a second. Oh, you're absolutely right. He gave this money to your children as a gift for their future. That was made clear to you. Clear to you. And the custodian of those accounts is responsible to see to it that that money is used exclusively for the benefit of the children.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Chuck E. Cheese and pony rides do not constitute an emergency. You are responsible for the Chuck E. Cheese in your children's lives.
And later today,
They just spent $6,000 on the trip.
Not on her.
Yes, on her.
Oh, you're so full of baloney.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Leroy Gaines says his son John Gaines and daughter-in-law Cassandra stole money he had gifted to his grandchildren.
If you want to invade that money because of an emergency, then you have to go to surrogate's court and say, I must, let's say it's not $500, let's say it's $500,000. And the child has a medical emergency, and you have no funds to cover the medical emergency. In all probability, a judge would say you may invade the children's money to pay for that emergency. Chuck E. Cheese and pony rides do not constitute an emergency. You are responsible for the Chuck E. Cheese in your children's lives. Your children are not responsible to feed themselves, you are. Your children are not responsible to house themselves, you are. And your children are not responsible for their own amusement. If you wish to amuse yourself on Saturdays, then you pay for the amusement. Otherwise, you don't take $200 to go to an amusement park out of money that's supposed to be for your children's future. That's outrageous.
Okay, so we owe the money to our kids, not to him.
Oh, yes, you do. He's the custodian.
May I also
Can,
say...
can I show you this?
He's the custodian.
No, he turned over everything to us.
Oh, let me
okay?
see it.
Otherwise, how would she have been able to withdraw the money?
Let me see. Let me see. This is a will.
Your Honor,
what are you showing me?
Let me say something.
This is
Your
a will when he dies.
Right, Your Honor, but he has been preparing for this a long time. And he told us that's why he made me custodian of these accounts.
Show me. Hey,
they told
quiet.
me I needed to subpoena the records, Your Honor.
Pay careful attention to me. What I have here is the plaintiff as custodian. What I have in your answer is that you were co-custodian.
Correct.
He's a custodian, you're a custodian, right? He's going to take the money that you stole from your children, and I assume you will put it back in a CD in your name as sole custodian.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you intend
That's
to do?
exactly what I want to do.
Okay. So you have no objection to my taking the names of the 3 children whose accounts they closed.
Yes, ma'am.
What are their names?
Alexandria, Audrey, and Elisa.
He's saying the oldest daughter's name wrong, and it's
And the
spelt
last.
wrong also.
Alexandria.
No I.
There's no I. It's Alexandra.
Alexandra. Oh, so you think he should be penalized for that? You got some
I think he should
attitude
be
for somebody who took
I
their
never
kids'
even
money
met
for
him until I
Chuck E.
was
Cheese.
12 years old.
Listen to me.
Where was he?
I don't
He has
care.
9 kids. Doesn't
Mr.
take care of
Gaines,
any of them.
Mr. Gaines, you and your wife have a problem.
Yeah, we do. He's
You-
right here.
No. I want to tell you something. If you think that he's your problem, then what you should have said to him was, when he said, I'm going to open these accounts for the children, do me a favor. I don't want you to open any accounts for the children. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
And we did it until
Just
he
a-
became sober in 1998.
Hey, just a second. So if he became sober, according to you, in 1998, and in 1999, when he put his life together again, he wanted to start to do the right thing, make amends for some of the transgressions that he's had in his life,
You can
whatever.
never do that.
Hey, you stole money from your children. You're outrageous.
He never paid
now
a
let's
dime
take
of
care
child support.
You stole money from your children.
And we'll give it back to him.
You stole money from your children.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, we didn't.
You said to yourself, I got $2,000 that I can play around with, and I
It
don't have to
wasn't
sweat.
$2,000, Your Honor.
Just a minute. You had, hey, Missy Attitude, you had $2,000, $500 for each of your children. The only reason that you're annoyed is that he got to the other $500 before you did. You had $2,000. That's what you had to start
I'm
with.
annoyed because he's family and he's bringing us to court. And I had a phone conversation with him on the phone, and he did nothing but disrespect me and degrade me and call me foul names.
You had a nerve taking this money from your children. You don't seem to get it.
Well, then what does he have to do with it? We took the money from our kids. It was a gift from him.
Not to you. It was a gift to your children.
To our kids, not his kids.
I will tell you something. If you were my son, maybe I wouldn't see you either. Judgment for the plaintiff on his claim, counterclaim for the $500 that he took back and that he's going to put back into the account is dismissed. Folks are outrageous.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I met him when I was 12 years old for the first time in my life.
He's not as good as a grandfather as he portrayed himself or the judge portrayed him.
The first time I met him, he was, falling down drunk.
He stole money from the kids, and he had to pay it back.
And now the next case.
All parties on Messick versus Platts. Step forward, please.
Teenager Crystal Messick and her mother, 44-year-old sales rep Angie Messick, are suing 34-year-old loan officer Jama Platts for unpaid babysitting fees. Jama says she paid Crystal with a trip to Disneyland.
Tell me your name.
Vinny.
Vinny, would you go with Officer Byrd, please? He's going to take you outside. According to your complaint, you babysat for the defendant. She didn't pay you. You babysat for her for a whole summer. The defense by Miss Platts is that she took you on a nice trip. When did you begin working for her?
It was right after my school got out, like the middle of June.
And what was she supposed to pay you? By the hour, by the day?
At the beginning of the summer, she told me $500 for the whole entire summer.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Did she pay you at all?
No.
Did you have a conversation with her about payment?
I asked her several times, and there was always a different excuse.
Like what?
I'm not sure what this whole house deal was, but it was we had to wait for the house to go through, and then it never went through, I guess.
But it's clear that your arrangement with her was that you were going to be paid $500 for the entire summer.
Yeah.
Then why are you suing her for $2,772?
Because when that was the agreement, I didn't know that I would be spending my whole entire summer there. I was staying at her house for like weeks at a time. I cooked and I cleaned. Cleaning was never in the agreement with $500.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Teenager Crystal Messick says during an entire summer she babysat for Jama Platts. Crystal is suing Jama for not paying her.
But you never changed the arrangement with her, Crystal, about the $500. Is that right?
That's right.
You just continued to go there. And you never said to her, well, this wasn't part of the arrangement.
No.
So really what we're talking about here is $500, because that was your agreement, right? Just curious, how many days a week did you babysit for her?
And at the beginning, it was just like on weekends and during the day. But then in July, I was babysitting every day, every night.
Every day and night?
Yes.
Why didn't you pay her?
I was at that time in the foreclosure business. I had not been paid. I was going through a divorce. Crystal told me she would rather stay with me than with her mother because she was not getting along with her mother.
So?
And let her stay with me.
Well, you let her stay with you, but she took care of your child.
Absolutely.
And you had a contract, a verbal contract with her to pay her $500 for the summer.
And
she did, in fact, babysit for you in July and August every day?
Correct.
You went to business?
Yes.
How much do you think it would have cost you a week to have somebody take care of your child?
$80 probably.
A week?
In Denver, Colorado, yeah.
$80 for an entire week? Is that what you're telling me? 7 days?
To the day, well, Monday through Friday.
And what about on the weekends, in the evening? Did you ever go out?
I would have, yes, I would have paid more than that.
Of course you would have paid more than that, $80 a week. So say, minimally, you would have paid somebody $100 a week.
Correct.
From mid-June until, when did you stop working?
The very end of August.
Our trip was August 28th.
Okay, so you're talking about 10 weeks. So minimally, you would have paid somebody else at least double just for babysitting, right?
Yes.
So why didn't you pay her $500?
I took her on a trip to Disneyland.
Well, let me hear about that. That's nice of you.
We went to Disneyland. I had an agreement that with the law settlement that I was supposed to be getting, I got paid a $9,000 check. I took $3,000 of that. I was supposed to be getting paid $120,000 on a foreclosed property.
Yes.
The settlement did not go through.
So you, go ahead.
So I took her to Disneyland
No,
with
go
my
ahead.
son
So you,
and I.
just a second. So at the end of the summer, you got your check. Why didn't
For
you take
$9,000.
Why didn't you take $500 and give her?
I asked her if she would rather have that. She said she wanted to go to Disneyland.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell me about the conversation.
We were at the kitchen table at my house. I said, do you want to go to Disneyland? I would like to take you and my son to Disneyland as part of payment for being with my son all summer. When the rest of the settlement comes through, I will also pay you the money. The rest of the settlement has never come through. I took her and my son to Disneyland, and we spent 5 days in San Diego, SeaWorld, Disneyland. She agreed that it was verbally on the airplane that that was payment enough. I didn't owe her any more money.
Well, tell me about the conversation that you had with her on the airplane.
I said to her, is this payment enough for what you've done for me this summer?
Why would you ask her such a question, Miss Platts? Why would you
Because
place a 14-year-old, and you're an adult, in a position of having a 14-year-old say to you after you've taken her on a trip, is this payment enough? I treated you very well. You expect a 14-year-old, even if you asked her that question, to say to you, no, it's not enough. I expect you to pay me what you owe me, $500. You expect a 14-year-old to be able to stand up to an adult?
I did say that to her.
What did you say to her?
I said to her, if my settlement comes through, I will pay you the $500.
I don't care what you said to her. You're an adult. You're in a position of control. Why would you say to a 14-year-old and expect an honest answer? Is it enough that I took you on this trip?
Because I had just spent $6,000 on the trip.
Not on her.
Yes, on her. Her, my son, and I.
Just a second. I read your answer. She didn't ask you to hire a limousine to take you to and from places, did she?
No, but she was...
She didn't ask you to make the trip a day in advance so that you paid premium price for the plane, right?
Actually, she did.
She asked you to make the arrangement?
She wanted to go immediately on the trip.
Oh, you're so full of baloney. You are so full of baloney.
Okay.
I think your conduct is outrageous. Okay. Because not only did you have a 14-year-old who was acting as babysitter, but according to her, and I believe her, she also cleaned up around your house. So for 10 weeks, she not only took care of your 6-year-old, acted as a babysitter, she also cleaned your house. You did some cooking?
Yeah, I cooked for him, for the son.
And ate my food.
So what? That's what you do when somebody's there. What you expect her to do, bring her own food?
No.
Your conduct is outrageous, Miss Platts. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's